Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. Oh, man. Listen, we have got a crazy show for you tonight. You know who we've got in the building, right? Come on, you know who we got in the building. We've got Ankhakek, the God Killer, up in the building, the real black atheist, the team, the Amun Ra squad founder and that. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Come on.
Yeah, but you almost made that mistake. But you wouldn't have been wrong, though.
Hey.
We definitely put that together. I'm not going to mention it right now. You know what I'm saying? We definitely put that together, and a couple of younger guys, you know what I'm saying? We put that together. I ain't going to say it. You funny. Yeah, and so that just shows you right there that it's hard to kind of separate that. And that situation shouldn't have never even came to be. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We just talked about that earlier, that, you know, it's hard to escape certain influences, no matter how hard you try. You know what I'm saying? So you're never going to be able to escape that. The best thing you can do is forge your own way. You know what I'm saying? Forge your own path. But your roots going to always come back. You know what I'm saying? Just like this conversation and dealing with Africa and out of Asia, we're going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to all the brothers and sisters, right, that are teaching scientific literacy to the community, because it's not a lot of us and it's not enough of us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, real black atheism inspires to make the whole African community, African American community in North America, scientifically literate, or at least not be afraid of it. You know, so we here, Real Black Atheism and the Amara Squad, which is two separate entities. I want y'all to know that. You know, so Real Black Atheism has used the Amara Squad scholarship. You know what I'm saying? We use those toolkits. All right. So, hey, man, powerful to even be here, Kalam. Glad to be back. You've been running and hiding. You know what I'm saying? I see, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was supposed to have been to this show a couple of weeks ago. You know what I mean? But some kind of way, you know, things transpire and ain't go down. I see you bringing back scientifically sound material on your show again. And you know, because you've been taking a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Muslim community, they've been on your tail, boy.
Yeah, trust me.
So you know, the only way to defeat that is with scientific literacy. Because why? Scientific literacy.
I need you to get this in, you know, a well-organized line. Let me hear that real quickly, man. It ain't gonna be a show without that.
Black African power was good, was happening, a well-organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee, man, you already know what it is, man. God Killer in the house. Yeah, and I'm back with my man from the UK, and we here doing our thing. My man, brother Kalam, that I met personally, you know what I'm saying, in the streets of New York. Feel me when I say that. So you already know where my allegiance is at, Kalam. You know what I mean? Like you find out who a person is when you're in a situation and that person got your back, and then you know who they are forever. That's all I'm gonna say.
100%. Salute. Double salute for that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, listen, family, I know that you're here right now. I need you guys here to do me a great, big, fat favor. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button, because this show is going to be off the chain. Just like we've been having a few shows now, right? We had yesterday's show, crazy. We had Netchanette passing through, crazy. Asim Hotep, shut down. Crazy. So please, I need you guys just to hit the like button, let everybody know that we're live right now on Titans TV with Ankhakek, the God Killer, the real black atheist, representing the Amun Ra squad scholarship right now. And we're going to be discussing the out of Asia. We're going to be discussing out of Asia. We're going to be touching on things that some of you guys, I know I ain't never heard of this, okay? We're going to be touching on the Delhi man. We're going to be discussing South Africa. We're going to go into a lot of archaeology, paleontology, and a whole heap of information, all right? So go ahead, tell your friends, tell your family that we're live right now, and it's going to be powerful. A lot of you guys have been waiting for this, asking for this already. Ultra Funky has just dropped a super chat, saying Black African atheist powers. Yeah, trust me, Black African power, baby. Yeah, we're getting in right now. So yeah, family, it's going to be powerful. I'm telling you this now. So grab a paper, grab a pen, get your notes ready, because it's just going to be jam-packed, filled with information. We already said it before. This is how I was reared up in. I was grounded in this type of knowledge, scientific information. I bucked up with my brothers, and they helped to straighten out all of the cranks that I was with. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I'm now standing straight. I'm standing erect. I'm standing firm. I'm standing with some great principles and foundations to work off, right? Based upon the Amun-Ra squad and the Amun-Ra squad matrix. So family, like, this is it right here. This is it. Like, some of you guys look up to me and be like, yo, Cal, like, you're on point, G. Now listen, this is my teachers. These are my educators. These are my big brothers, that have schooled me and helped me to be firm in knowledge. So now it's time for you guys to get the source. So let's bring it in right now. Ankhakek, where we starting off at?
Well, I just like to start off in New York when you prove your propensity to read the meta nature from, straight from the artifacts. I want to let everybody know that you can do that. All right, let's clear the air on that. But I remember early in your career, I'm like, come on, Kalam, right? But we all have these pseudo beginners, Kalam, and it has taken me a while to really get a grasp on that statement right there. That there are levels to this shit right here. Let's just, and it's not being arrogant, it's just the truth. Like, you got some people in high school and they just can't graduate. You know what I'm saying? Like, they 22 years old and still in high school. 18, 19, still in high school. Can't get out, or can't get out of middle school. Some people just can't grasp this. As a matter of fact, the majority of people, white, black, or Chinese, do not have the propensity to, one, check this out, understand meta nature and read it. Two, be scientifically literate. Like, these are hard subjects. You know what I'm saying? This is not for everybody. It takes a level of conditioning to condition yourself to study. You have your dictionary, your scientific dictionary, all these things to really get this. And so I had to realize that really we're walking with a big stick. We're actually walking with a thermonuclear gun. Thermonuclear weapon. We got the rail guns hooked up to the intercontinental ships. You feel me? Like, there is no defeating science. Science can only be defeated with science. So what are we talking about when we say science? We're simply talking about the understanding of the natural forces on Earth. That's all science is. The world we live in, wanting to understand that. That's what science is. So science, connecting back to understanding nature, because that's what it is, because knowledge, to know, Greek word to know. Right? But what is it that scientists want to know? They want to know about the natural world. They want to know about the natural forces that dictate the natural world. Trying to understand that. And for the life of me, how in the hell do anybody think they're going to defeat nature? Hey, you're not going to defeat nature, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I stand and stick my chest out when I deal with science. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're not going to get around nature. Science is the study of nature. You can go to the Rhine Mathematical Papyrus when the Nile Valley Africans are talking about the correct method for studying nature to know all things. So this idea of studying nature to know all things is a Nile Valley concept. It's the first inkling of people trying to produce a methodology of how to study nature. Before that point, everybody had their mythological explanations. You can go around the world and everybody have their explanations on how things came into being. You can go amongst the Muslims. You can go amongst the Christians. Well, now the Christians don't have a creation story. They borrowed from the Jewish creation story and act like the Jews ain't right. Ain't that funny? So the Christians don't really have a God. They have a demigod. Let me slow down for a minute. What's the demigod? A demigod is a god, a deity that has a human parent and a God parent. So Jesus Christ has a human mother and a heavenly father. Am I not right?
All right. You're right.
So they got a demigod. They ain't got a God. They worship a demigod. Let me keep going on though. And so this thing that we talking about science, right? And the study of nature is what the whole world uses to propel itself. It's what people in Africa use to span all the continents. Science, the spear. The spear was the interballistic thermonuclear weapon of that time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got people out here to say, well, if the Africans didn't do this, they wouldn't have, you know, we wouldn't have acted like that. We wouldn't have used thermonuclear weapon. That's a bunch of bullshit. We used the weapons that we had, and we had a thermonuclear weapon, somebody would have got nuked. I promise you that. Trust me with that. All right. And so it's science that actually gave our ancestors technology. You know, like we say, science pushes technology and technology pushes science. This is what was used to help us, you know, expand the whole globe. You know what I'm saying? It's that science. And so when we say science can only be defeated by science, that's exactly what we mean. Plain and simple. There's so pseudo explanations, false information is not going to defeat science. Religions aren't going to defeat science. Like I was saying, that you can go around the planet and everybody amongst the Zulu, you can go amongst the Native American populations, you can go amongst the Indonesians, you can go amongst the Australians, you can go amongst the Khoisan people. They all have stories on how they particular tribe came in and be. And guess what? For the most part, they're all wrong. It's not until the advent of understanding nature do man give real explanation. So I guess you go back to like 2003 when the human genome was mapped out. Maybe I should make sure that's the correct date. All right, don't quote me on that, but I'm thinking it's 2003. If I'm not mistaken, let's see, human genome. What's the date on that, Kalam? I know you got that shit on deck somewhere. I don't know.
I'll pull it up. Well, I need you to drop us. The definition of atheism. Like, where did atheism actually arise from, and where did it start? Because I know that's the hot piece right there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do this real fast. I'm gonna feed right into it. Get the book, The Battle of the Gods. The Battle of the Gods, right? Get that work, right? Get Civilization and Barbarism by Sheikh Diop. You know you got your screen locked on, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see, let's go to page 235, I believe, right? All right. Let me show you where atheism really starts to spawn. All right. And it's a basic, it starts to come out of atheism. Watch this. Atheism comes out of the human struggle to either fight against science, right? That's going against certain cultural practices, or the advocation of science. You know what I'm saying? That's going against certain mythologies. Y'all got me. I'm going to say this real slow. Science actually comes out of the debate of the human struggle to understand its natural world, and given either a mythological explanation of it or a natural explanation of it. And in between that, you'll find that argument of pushing and shoving over whether to believe or not to believe. Plain and simple. All right. And we can go back to the primitive form of how the actual mind, since we always talk about evolution, and I just like to say this, your brother did a good job yesterday on evolution. You know what I'm saying? Yo, stay sharp regardless of situations, right? All right. So human mind develop mutations. Watch this. That actually allow you to believe. So your believing mind, read the book, The Believing Mind. Let me see, I think I got it somewhere around here. Hold on. Let me kind of show y'all that. I got it here.
And for everybody else out there who may wanted to know about the human genome, it was mapped out February 2001. February 2001.
You made it up, Kalam. It's 2003. I ain't messed up. Damn. All right, so before the human genome was mapped out, yo, Come on, man. So any book written before the human genome was mapped out, you know what I mean? Information might be decent, but it ain't gonna be as on point as when we figured out the interconnection between certain things. Yeah, anyway, the book is called The Believing Mind. It talks about how through biological evolution, human evolution, those who believed more survived longer. And a good example of that is if we say it's called patternicity. So basically, if we're dealing with set of circumstances, and say we're walking down a path and we run across a pile of leaves. All right, now to go down this path is the shortest way to get to where we want to get to. Now to go around those pile of leaves, it would take us longer. Now you're faced with a choice. But as you look at the leaves, right, you think they might have moved or something like that. And so you go around it because you think, well, the movement of the leaves might represent some type of dangerous predator, maybe a snake or something like that. And so your mind recognizes that pattern and it walks around it, okay? But at the end of the day, if you was to pick up them leaves, you would soon realize that it really wasn't nothing in those daggone leaves. You get that? It wasn't nothing, and maybe the wind blew and shifted the leaves, but it wasn't nothing underneath. That's called a false negative. It wasn't there. Now, maybe you was a person that walked down that same path and seen the leaves move and say, well, I ain't nothing in them. And you walk past some leaves and the snake was really there and it bit you. You know what I'm saying? That's a false positive. That's your ass. You're dead now, right? And so the human mind, right, those who believe more last longer, you know what I'm saying, during archaic times. You get that? So through the evolutionary process, those with those traits that actually allowed you to believe more, you know what I'm saying, lasted longer. So actually, when we talk about real black atheism, right, we're going against the grain. Your mind wants to believe so that it won't miss any patterns, specifically your archaic mind, those minds that were developed in the archaic periods. You feel me? Going back 2 million years, right, when you get the homogeneous family, this evolutionary trait actually helped our genome actually survive longer. And so when we're talking about believing and not believing, right, the less you know, the more you believe. So once you got the skill set to recognize, well, I understand the difference between the wind and leaves rattling, then you would no longer have to believe, but it's still part of our distant past. And so we're actually fighting against our distant path. Like we no longer think that volcanoes are a god come to destroy us. We know now. But imagine if those early inhabitants didn't run when that volcano went off. You know what I'm saying? Like they would have been barbecue chicken. All right, so when we try to teach the truth, we're really fighting against genetics and evolution. So that's hard, and superstition. So when you don't know something, right, you develop superstitions to explain it. Like, let me give you ever played baseball before, Kalam? Huh?
Yeah.
All right, so what position did you play?
Sugar. We call it over here rounders. So it's not actually baseball, it's more rounders.
What now? Round? Hell to the no. Y'all say rounders. Is you running?
Yeah.
I am talking to the UK, my fault. I'm not laughing. That's just funny. Baseball, national. Yankees, that game, right? The point I'm trying to make is y'all said rounders because you go around. Oh man, that's funny. What I want to say is when people go to the field in baseball, you have outfielders, infielders, right? And people that are in the outfield and infield, you don't see them doing a whole lot of things like this before they catch the ball. People just get basically set and they catch the ball. But when you look at people, everybody, when you watch them go up and hit, they do a lot of different things. Right or wrong, yo? But they'll do this constantly. They'll do these rituals every time before they get to the plate. They won't break tradition on that. Everybody got their own ritual that they do tap the plate before they hit. But why is this? Because in human behavior, based off of evolution, right? Watch this. Things you do not understand and things that you fail at the most, you become superstitious. So the less you have control over something, the more superstitious it becomes to you. So in hitting, if you bat 200 or 300, which means you failed, you know what I'm saying, 70% of the time, right, you'll always have a ritual before you get them hit. Now, in catching the ball, right, people, you succeed 95% of the time. So there's no need for that. I'm going to say this again. In hitting, right, for you to hit 300, that means you have failed 70% of the time. So based off of that failing, you become superstitious. You know what I'm saying? So when you find a lot of human failure, you'll also find a lot of superstition. Very simple to understand that. Okay? So since early humans didn't understand their natural environment, they was very, very superstitious. And they couldn't control it. See, you can't control nature, which takes me back to my point. For the life of me, right, this is one thing man can control. That's goddamn nature. Man has no control over nature, no matter what y'all pseudo say about the HARP program, which you don't even really understand, right? You make pseudo information on a HARP whatever program because you pseudo and conspiracy out, right? But man cannot control nature, nor do man know the origin of nature. Feel me? So it puts a dark cloud. We barely understand nature, right? We barely understand the grandness of it, right? And we sure as hell don't know where things came from. You know what I'm saying? So in that, we always enact and throw in superstitions. Simple as that. So this is what we're fighting against. So now we come to Civilization and Barbarism, page 35. All right, I want to get back to that real fast.
Hold on, no. You have to stop real quickly. Stop real quick. Listen, family, are you listening to this information though? On the real, and we've only got what 39 likes. Nah, man, you lot are taking the mic now. Like I'm geared up right now. I don't know if you're feeling like me. Yeah, if you are, smash the like button like crazy right now. This is going to be some extraordinary information that I know a lot of us haven't heard before. We ain't received this type of information before. So please hit up the like button, all right? And let's get this popping. If you want my attention, right? There's two ways of getting my attention. But for now, for the next 45 minutes or so, there is only one way you can get my attention. And that is via the super chat button, okay? The super chat button. The second way you can get my attention, which is going to be for the later half of the show, is going to be via you tagging Titans TV. These two ways alerts me to the fact that you're speaking to me and you want me to get something across. All right. But for now, the only way you can get in contact with me is going to be super chats. But the next 45 minutes, you can also tag Titans TV and I will respond to you guys ASAP. All right, family, let's continue.
Okay, so I want to go back to, we were talking about this struggle between believing and knowing. And out of that environment, you get atheism. So watch this. So on page 335 in Civilization and Barbarism, an Authentic Anthropology by Sheikh Anta Diop's. He says science was in the hands of and developed by a body in service to the state, with which it was born. It says the clergy, the source of science in Egypt, and the state that its services can therefore not enter into conflict for the sake of science or anti-intellectualism and sectarianism, as in continental Greece. Okay? It says in Athens, where Anaxagoras, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle were all sentenced to death or almost were, because they taught scientific ideas received from Egypt and well ahead of the local institutions. So the local institutions, science of the Egyptian flavor was well ahead of the Athenians' institutions. So see, we start to see the problem. And watch this. It say while the Egyptian religion engendered science, Athenian religious tradition protected itself against science and of Egyptian origin. And this very special situation explains the difference in the compared evolution of Egypt and Greek societies. What am I saying here, Kalam? What I'm saying is that Go ahead and bring that nigga shit in Greece if you want to. We're going to murder you and kill you for that bit of information, because this particular information goes against the state-sponsored religion. So whenever you go against a state-sponsored religion, you create an environment of having people wanting to attack you like they attack me on a regular basis. Just like the conscious community attacked me. They attacked me because I was going against the state-sponsored religion, which was pseudo-isms. The conscious community, you know what I'm saying, was pseudo as hell. Trust me when I tell you that. I know. Pseudo as hell. And we're going to get into the elders that actually promoted the pseudo-isms that you hear today. So when I'm a real black atheist, I'm simply saying that I am going against the status quo. I am going against the state-sponsored religion. You got to feel me with that, Kalam. That's the environment that produced what the Greeks called atheists. Now, there is no word in Africa for atheists, okay? So they didn't use that word, and I've never said that. So real black atheism is an African-American expression, you know what I'm saying, of how to go against the state-sponsored religion and how to clear your mind. Now, the conscious community, you know what I'm saying, which I'm a proud member of, you know what I'm saying, I just fall on the other side. That's why you hear people talking shit about themselves. Oh, that nigga don't believe in God. But wait a minute, I don't believe in God. But I thought you didn't believe in God. So let's look at this for one quick moment. Those who do not believe in an Abrahamic faith are considered an atheist. Can't get around that. There's no getting around that. I'm going to say it again. Those who do not follow the Abrahamic faith are considered atheists. Bad enough, right? If you go back in Roman times, if you didn't follow the Roman religion, they called the Christians atheists. Then you'll find Muslims calling Christians atheists and atheists calling Muslims atheists. Not to mention, right, if you look at the Nile Valley Africans, they said they were pantheists. But we know they lived in an environment before that word, right? A pantheist is really a soft atheist. So a pantheist says that there is nothing that happens outside of nature. A real black atheist, an atheist, says there is nothing that happens outside of nature. You get that? So to the pantheist, everything is God. To the real black atheist and atheists, you know what I'm saying, everything is interconnected. And how do we know? By studying biological evolution teaches you that everything is biologically connected. You get that? Maybe should I slow it down and run it back again? Nile Valley Africans, they called them pantheists. All right. A pantheist clearly states that there is nothing outside of nature. You know what I'm saying? There is nothing outside of the gods. Nothing is created outside. There is nothing outside of that. That everything is God. Nothing outside of everything is God. Yeah. So Shu and Tefnut and all that, wind, rain, water, and all that. That's all the gods, right? That's all natural phenomena. That's everything, right? An atheist, and a real black atheist, says that there's nothing outside of nature. Meaning nothing created in nature. It is what it is, right? Fundamental African idea is, right? I'm not saying all African nations, that's what we make the mistake at, but fundamentally, you Africans say that God would be existence itself. The monotheism says that there's a God that created existence. There's a God that created everything. This is the split. So the Nile Valley Africans would be on the atheistic side of things, the real black atheist side, right? You know what I'm saying? And the monotheism would be on that other side. So I hope y'all got a true understanding of what I'm talking about, because science says that everything is everything. The majority of Africans make the claim that everything is everything because everything is within existence. It's the same damn thing. So come on, man. Y'all got to lighten up on me a little bit. Take your time. And it's time for y'all to graduate. Graduate to the point where you can create your own ideas and your own concepts and generate a culture that will help fit you fight the war against racism, white supremacy in the UK. If you run around with a Stone Age religion, it's going to be kind of hard there because we're living in a space age. And so we'll take the best and greatest traditions from Africa, right? We'll dismiss the things that are wrong, right? And we'll deal with the things that actually work. We'll bring that forward. We'll deal with all the experiences of those in the UK, you know what I'm saying, and abroad, and all the experiences of those in America. We'll take all the best experiences. We'll deify people like Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, Mega Evans, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you got some heroes in the UK. We'll use all those things. So like Martin Luther King will be the voice of reason in certain situations, and Malcolm X will be the voice of reason in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? We'll take the best things that helped us fight against this supremacy, and we'll put it into a cultural identity where the young generation, you know what I'm saying, can follow it. So what I'm basically saying is, right, we'll first start off with scientific literacy. We'll use mythology. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you know it's a myth that Michael Jordan could fly, but it's a way to explain how dominant he was and how high he could jump and how high it seemingly seemed that he could hang in the air. You feel me? So it's that all that is important, but we need to start developing new systems that are fit for the space age. That has no disrespect to deal with continental African religions. Well, continental African religions weren't formed out of the ecology in North America. They was formed out of the ecology in Africa. It was formed to deal with nature. It was formed to deal with the peoples. It was formed to deal with an African environment. It wasn't formed to fight against racism, white supremacy. And it's obvious because they came in with the intercontinental ships and wiped our ass out. Feeling me? And so, you know, that's the answer to the real black atheism. We're going against the state-sponsored religion that actually they were really murder cults. You know what I'm saying? And so on one hand, they're deifying their ancestors, like Jesus Christ is really a deified ancestor, or Yahshua ben Bendero, whatever you want to call him. Abraham, Moses, Isaac, Jacob, they're the deified ancestors, King David. So they actually got you honoring and worshiping their ancestors. Muhammad, and they'll say, praise be upon him. You know how they say it? Praise be upon him. You know how they do it, right? These are really Allah. Allah becomes the great ancestor. You feel me? And so they actually got you following other people's cultural view, because that's exactly what religion is. Religion is the deification of one's culture, cultural expression of how people in certain geographical areas relate to their world. What science does, science looks at all these pieces and does not allow one particular culture to dominate where things come from. It allows the evidence. It allows everybody to weigh in. Because if it was left to the Jews, we all came from Adam and Eve. If it was left to them. If it was left to the Muslim, it was Allah. If it was left to the Zulus, Kulu Kulu. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I hope y'all can digest some of the things I was just talking about. All y'all got to do is rewind the video and take your time and get a real understanding of what Brother Unc is talking about. Y'all just got to fit with that. Take your time, pump your brakes, and let's just graduate. So I say all this to say, explain what atheism was and real black atheism, right? And I'm explaining how those who have graduated, you got to start recognizing that it's a different level of thought. It's a different level of study. It's what the real world uses to push forward. So you have to be scientifically literate and you have to be economically literate. These key components right here are essential for survivability in the space age. There you go, Kalam. Got that.
All right. Listen, family, let me quickly come over to you guys for a hot second as we've got this quick intermission. So right over here, we've got a few people just saluting. Again, we've already said Ultra Funky. You know, we told you before, the way to get in contact with us is by dropping us the super chats. And right about now, you lot have been dropping the super chats. And he says, Black African Atheist Power. Then we've got Jay Boogie, who's up in the building as well, saying, big up Kalam and the real Black Atheist every time. Ooh, wait. Marshall, yes, you don't know the show is going to be fire, is fire already. And we've got, of course, the First Lady up in the building with us, as well as Sci-Fi Living. What's good, Sci-Fi? Oh, man. There's a few people saying that they want to debate. Shouts out to Tommy Robinson live stream channel. Yeah, we got you. Don't worry about you. Shahid, I see you. You want to debate? I see you. I see you. Scattered minds. Everything is everything. I know you must be real chuffed as well. Let's see who else we got up in the building with us. Mo Abbey. I see you. I see you. And of course, we've got another super chat that's coming from Unbiased Sports that says, "Peace to Kalam and brother Ankh. I'm just listening in. No questions because I comprehend English well." Oh man, they loving you, man. They loving you. All right. And of course, we've got no. Wait, how did I miss that out, man? We had a brilliant comment from Scientific Method. That's brother Ansar as well. So all of the atheists, they're happy right about now. And I don't know if you know about the good brother Sarah Garvey that's over here in the UK that's been tearing things up over here in the Speaker's Corner and elsewhere as well. So yeah.
Shout out, bro. Shout out to all the support, man. That's real right there.
Yeah, there you go. That's the message we missed out. Big up Ankh, the real black atheist. I always like this guy from way back. Ask him what pantheists. Ask him what are pantheists. Thank you.
What a pantheist?
Pantheists, I think. There's pantheists and there's pantheists. No. Yeah,
I have no idea. Maybe you can educate me. So I'm the first to say, but I'm not sure about that term. Pantheist.
Yeah.
Oh man, nope. I don't know what it is. Does anybody in the chat room know what it is? Anybody help us out on that?
Yeah, pantheist is a bit like a pantheist, but you also have the view that even everything is inside something else as well, which is outside of this universe.
Oh, okay. All right. Learn something new every day.
Miss London Yoruba says, "Thank you for this. Please thank Ankhakek. Food for the soul." Don't worry, you've already thanked him. He can see the message and we're reading it out. All right, let's get back into it. Have Ankh explain how Geb thinks. All right, let's go back into this real quickly and get things moving.
How Geb thinks? How Geb thinks?
Yeah.
First of all, Geb don't think. Geb is an idea created by Nile Valley Africans. Geb is the earth. So how would I know I don't know how the earth thinks. What we do know is we understand how the earth functions. Scientific literacy actually teaches you how earth functions. And we know earth functions as a complete system, but this system is not outside of the cosmic system. So that, so basically the earth is just dust, compressed dust based off of sticking together gravity. Over time, molten lava forms the earth. So we really on dust. You feel me? These dust particles come out of the explosion of stars, right? So I wouldn't know how Geb thinks. You would have to ask the African that actually came up with that concept of how Geb thinks. We know that ain't fact though.
I think he's saying that that was a typo. That was a typo. He didn't mean to write that. That's what he's saying.
Some things came out of that statement, though. Some things came out of that. Maybe people didn't know that dust, actually formed Earth. These dust particles, right? Maybe people didn't know that.
Wow. Okay. Family. So now let's go into this out of Asia. Okay, this just sounds real controversial.
Well, we got to get on top of these things before the pseudo take it, because the pseudo always works within the gray area. And so science never claims to know everything. So these pseudos work within that gray area. They'll misread articles. And then the high-powered pseudos, right? Like Baba Mohammed, right? I would call him a next level pseudo, right? He'll take scientific journals and misrepresent them on a regular basis. And you'll go back and read the thing and say, it don't say that. So it's like his reading comprehension is off. So really to read journals, you got to have a high level of reading comprehension. These pseudos will take bits and pieces from blogs, take journals and misinform you on that. This would be Baba Mohammed. He does this on regular occurrences. Like he don't agree with evolution yet, right? Watch this. He does not agree with evolution, but, he agrees with Homo sapiens. He call them Homo, he call them Homo hetero sapiens. How? How? You understand? Like how? if you use the term homo, you know what I'm saying?
You're talking about a particular genius.
Like, that's our genius, homogeneous. That's the genius we in. That means that you are agreeing with the development of humans. Like, what are you talking about? Use the word sapient, knowledgeable man. That's the homo sapient, knowledgeable man, which is inducive of men and women. You can't use that term. I mean, like, you watch this. You can't even use Yakub, the big head scientist, because that will be talking about genes. If you really thought about it, think about that. That's talking about artificial selection, where they mix genes back. The story of Yakub, you familiar with that?
Yeah.
And it's talking about how they mix back and forth, you know what I'm saying, genes, right? They took the genes and bred out the dog gene. But that's artificial selection. So if human beings can do artificial selection, like the mustard plant, out of the mustard plant through artificial selection, you get kale, you get broccoli. You know what I'm saying? You get these different plants based off of human beings, just like corn, bananas. You know what I'm saying? You get these based off of the genes, dealing with genes, humans selecting certain traits or certain alleles, right? They will form the next generation of plants the way they want them to go. But if you say that, then you're talking about evolution. You know what I'm saying? Like my man always say, he say on the demi level, I ain't gonna say who. He hit you with the demi level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, boy, having around here, man. So I mean, you know, yo, like, come on, man. Where was we at? We was jumped off the surface for man. I'm right back at him. Anyway, I'm just trying to show y'all that the pseudoscientists won't win. And I would like to speak on that for a moment here before we get to the outer Asia, right? Because they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to use it and misuse and do all that. That's why I want to be on top of it, right? But the pseudoisms was actually promoted by the elders. This generation of elders, last generation of elders that claim, and watch this, that claim to have set a defeat of Dr. Ben, A.E. Infodesi. Let me just say it because I don't hide names, right? He's one of the elders that claim to have set a defeat. But this whole treatise right here, this book, Africa, the mother of Western civilization, how can Africa be the mother of Western civilization? Majority of this book, the whole book is laden with evolution, bro. This is where I learned about evolution from. Dr. Ben's book. I suggest those who got this book go to the back of the book. Let's go to the back of the book. Go to the table of contents. No, I mean, my fault. Go to the index section. Go to the name index. Watch this. Watch this, Kalam. You got this word?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Damn shame.
Allow me.
Yeah. So watch this. He has Albert Churchwood's name in here. Now we know Albert Churchwood was a Victorian scientist. He was a scientist, and between him and then you got Charles Darwin name in here. Dr. Ben calls him Sir Charles Darwin. He gives him his Victorian title. So I learned about Charles Darwin and Albert Churchwood right here. Right. Here's another work by Albert Churchwood. Right here. Origin and Evolution of the Human Race, published in 1910. All right. 1910. Albert Churchwood. His brother, I forget his brother name. His brother was teaching pseudoism, talking about the land of Mu and all that. So look up Albert Churchwood's brother. All right. He talked about the land of Mu and all that. The brother was pseudo, but Albert was on his job. So you got Albert Churchwood and Charles Darwin. These are the first people on Earth, right? From that standpoint, that recognize Africa as the mother of humanity. Well, they put evidence behind it, or they predicted the evidence that would come later on. So we know for sure, if you understand science, science is predictive. It predicts things that will occur based off of the available information. Science is predictive. So they predicted that. Let me read the prediction. So learned about evolution right here, right? Charles Darwin. And then I'm gonna read the prediction for you, and we'll see that if that prediction came true by Charles Darwin. So let me come to page 4040. Let me see.
I think it was is it James Churchwood?
Yes.
His younger brother, James
What did he teach? With the land of Mu or what?
Yeah, I got something to do with Atlantis popping up.
Atlantis.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Let me go through and see.
Yeah, it was Atlantis.
Yeah, Mu. Yeah. Here we go. Let me share my screen actually.
All right,
let me share my screen. So I know a few people are going to get spooked out as well from a certain stuff. So it says here, James Churchwood was a British occult writer, inventor, engineer, and fisherman. Churchwood is most notable for proposing the existence of a lost continent called Mu in the Pacific Ocean. His writings on Mu are considered pseudo science. Yeah, and it continues to tell a bit more information about him as well. And the good brother was a Mason.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So that's Mu. That's him. So it's him that writ the Children of Mu. So he's the author of Children of Mu, Lost Continents of Mu, Sacred Symbols of Mu, God damn, Cosmic Forces of Mu, Second Book of Cosmic Forces of Mu. Lord, if it's a lost continent, I know the symbols, the sacred symbols of Mu.
Well, anyways. See, there you go. So watch this. We know the conscious community teach that. You know that, right? A.E. Ali Baba Mohammed. He talked about the land of Mu. Google Ali Muhammad, land of Mu. So one of the former Raw Squad members, Ishmael Bey, actually contacted the Churchwood family.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Because Ali Baba Muhammad was using that. See, we forget how much we didn't beat up the pseudo leaders. See, we beat up pseudo leaders. Now we beating up pseudo elders. We beating them up. And it's not to be disrespectful, right? It's so that the next generation can move forward. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, contacted the Churchwood family. The Churchwood family made a statement, and there's a video. I got to find that video. And it clearly says the guy made the video. He's the great great grandson of the Churchwoods. He said, under no circumstances, right? Don't quote me, but it goes basically under no circumstance that my great grandfather come up with these ideas to disrespect Black people or to usurp the African origin, you know what I'm saying, of humanity. Y'all got me? See, that's how serious, you know what I'm saying, we get down around here, man. You feel me? So really the last stage was really dealing with the elders that actually promoted these pseudoisms. And so people are going back and you named a few books. So people are actually getting these occult, they're trying to teach the occult. All this is pseudoisms. Like Madame Blavatsky. Okay, we know Madame Blavatsky, she was a cultist. She actually was, so whenever you hear people talking about astral projecting, that's Madame Blavatsky teachings. Right? That was her. She learned this from India. She goes to India. She's a Russian. She comes back from India. She brings this occultism to the United States. She was a racist white supremacist. You can just Google her. Go to Wikipedia and look that up. And yes, Wikipedia is an encyclopedia. All right, on the same grounds with Britannica. Look up that fight between Britannica and Wikipedia. Right. All right. So let me see. Let me show y'all this real fast. I don't forget the shit I'm talking about. So I come right here on page 40. It says man's intermediary link to an ape-like ancestor. At this juncture, it must be noted that Sir Charles Darwin had used the term ape-like ancestors and not an ape, as so many of his religious detractors have stated since his proclamation. So we really got religious people, whether it be Muslim, Christian, or Jews, or conscious community, because that's a religion, right? Mad at that statement. Oh man, we don't come from monkeys. Come on, that's not what I teach. That's not what Charles Darwin taught. That's not what Dr. Ben taught. As Dr. Ben is telling you what the religious detractors were talking about. It says the confusion as well as the persecution of all paleontologists and their associates by members of the clergy. See, members of the clergy was doing that. of all three faiths labeled Western religion, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam continues to this very day. They should add, when I write my next book, I'm going to add conscious community. However, the collection of human fossils associated beyond imagination, the collection of human fossils accumulated beyond imagination, a few are chronologically listed as follows according to their date and discovery. Partial chronology list of fossil finds. And he got it right here, man. On page 4041, all these, he give me the dates and times of fossils. So, man, I didn't even learn it from Charles Darwin. I learned about Charles Darwin from Dr. Ben, bro. Mm-hmm. See, from Dr. Ben and John Jackson, Man, God, and Civilization. So let's stop for 1 minute, and I'm gonna read that predictive statement by Charles Darwin. I ain't forget that. I still got it, son. I don't forget that. Still got it. Right? Go back to your point. Learned that earlier. Don't forget your damn point. You can go as far as you want out there explaining, but you gotta come back to the point. The point was the predictive statement that scientists like Charles Darwin and Albert Churchward made. And by the way, John Henry Clark, he wrote the foreword in Premortal Signs and Symbols, right? He brought these books back because he wanted us to read them. Now we understand why he chose a white boy to write the foreword for. He republished these works by Albert Churchward and the boys. He did that, the great John Henry Clark. Make this point real quick. The community that was centered in understanding Africa and understanding science, right, was dominated by the atheists. The first atheists, you know what I'm saying, of note in Harlem, you know what I'm saying, it predates the Harlem History Club, right? They call them Black Socrates. Look them up, look up Black Socrates. Hubert Harris. We'll say it again. Hubert Harris. Black Socrates. Look that up, Kalam. Mm-hmm. He's the first. He spoke Greek, he spoke Hebrew, and he was turning the boots off of religion in Harlem before anybody. So who learned from Hubert Harris? You got John Jackson, another noted real black atheist. So that's two real black atheists centered on teaching the science, technology, and our history. Then you got, who's the teacher of that, who did John Henry Clark teach? I mean, my fault. Who did John Jackson teach? Well, you got the likes of John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben. We know for certain that Dr. Ben was a real black atheist. They asked him, you go right on YouTube. He did that video, why do you believe in God? Right? He ain't believe in God. And then John Henry Clark, you never see him praying to a God, right? Matter of fact, he wasn't in no particular religion. You know what I'm saying? He just dealt with cosmology. He was another real black atheist. So the cornerstones of what we do, that would later on become the conscious community, you know what I'm saying, is real black atheists, and can't nobody get around that, Kalam.
Jeez, yeah. Hubert Henry Harris, yeah?
Read something a little bit about him real quick. I got that award at the Sarnetta. I got the first annual Sarnetta TV Awards. Shout out to my brother in Sarnetta. That's my main man, yo, all the way. Loyal brother. Yes, I got that award. Matter of fact, the squad got about 7 awards that night. Shout out to Dr. Oya Mayat. She always here. Shout out to Sister Naya, Voices of Fire. Shout out to Asahu Tep. You know what I'm saying? He was on your show. Shout out to Smash Rockwell's my main man. Shout out to Son Jetty. Yeah, I mean, the Jedi Warrior. May the force be with you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Brother Nahisi. You know what I'm saying? Did I get everybody? I got Nahisi, I got Nahisi, Smash Rockwell, and let me not forget the teacher supreme of the language, Brother Wu, or Brother Wu Jia. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Master Clan Warriors, Brother Ben, Sean, and all of them. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Fortune favorite, you know what I'm saying? And please, let me not forget, you know what I'm saying? The Dagger Squad, Brother Garfield, Sister Mo Monique. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? The families. Hey, and shout out to MBK. Let us not forget MBK, New Black Knowledge. Shout out. And shout out to my man, MBK. Shout out. All right. And that made me forget what the hell I was talking about. I was talking about you supposed to be reading Hubert Harris.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him. Hubert Henry Harrison, the Black Socrates. And Jackson, yeah, John G. Jackson actually wrote something about him in February 1987. Yeah, but I'm finding problems actually getting some information up. So
it should be a Wikipedia article right there of him.
I think I've got it. I think I've got it now. You know, Hubert Henry Harrison. Actually, let me share my screen. Give me a second.
I believe MBK also did a video on it, man. They really popularized Hubert Harris. Go ahead.
Yeah. April 27th, 1983. And he passed in December 17th, 1927, was the West Indian American writer, orator, educator, critique, and race and class conscious political activist and radical internationalist based in Harlem, New York. All right. He was described by, let me get it up, activist A. Philip Randolph as the father of Harlem radicalism, and by the historian Joel Augustus Rogers as the foremost Afro-American intellect of his time. John G. Jackson of American Atheist described him as the Black Socrates. All right, an immigrant from St. Croix at the age of 17, Harrison played a significant role in the largest radical class and race movements in the United States in 1912 to 14. He was the leading Black organizer in the Socialist Party of America in 1917. He founded the Liberty League and The Voice, the first organization and the first newspaper of the race-conscious New Negro movement. From his Liberty League and Voice came the core leadership of individuals and race-conscious program of the Garvey movement. Wow.
What? Hold on. Say that again, bro.
Wow. From his Liberty League and Voice came the core leadership of individuals and race-conscious program of the Garvey movement.
Damn atheist. Keep going. Finish that up.
Wait. Hold on. We need to go and check this because we got the Voice magazine, the Voice newspaper in the UK. And I haven't heard of this great titan before. So that's powerful. You're dropping me some great information here. All right, let me see. Harrison was a seminal and influential thinker who encouraged the development of class consciousness among working people, positive race consciousness among Black people, agnostic atheism, secular humanism, social progressivism, and free thought. He was also a self-described radical internationalist and contributed significantly to the Caribbean radical tradition. Harrison profoundly influenced a generation of new Negro militants, including A. Philip Randolph, Chandler Owen, Marcus Garvey, Richard Benjamin Moore, W.A. Domingo, William Burroughs, and Cyril Briggs. All right, that's like the very first lines. It continues to give you a list of things such as his early life, immigration.
Yeah, that's deep though. So he influenced who? Go back up there.
Yeah, the Garvey movement. Let me go down to the Garvey movement real quickly. That's I didn't know that.
Generations of new Negro militants.
Yeah. In January 1920, Harrison became principal editor of the Negro World, the newspaper of Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA. Wow. Over the next 8 months, he developed it into the leading race-conscious, radical, and literary publication of the day. By the August 1920 UNIA convention, Harrison had grown increasingly critical of Garvey. Harrison criticized Garvey for exaggerations, financial schemes, and desire for empire. In contrast to Garvey, Harrison emphasized that African Americans' principal struggle was in the United States, not in Africa. Harrison did, however, contribute to the UNIA's 1920 Declaration of the Negro People of the World. Though Harrison continued to write for the Negro World into 1922, he looked to develop political alternatives to Garvey. Jeez. Yeah, he goes on to do a whole heap of these things, openly criticizes the Ku Klux Klan and the racist attacks of the Tulsa race riot. He goes in. He goes in.
Point made, goddammit. Leave the real black atheists alone. We're the foundation of what the hell is going on in this damn world as far as black people are concerned and knowing their damn history. That's my point. What's wrong with these people, Kalam? What's the joke, bro? Think about that, yo. That Garvey, a noted Christian, used the atheists, real black atheists, to be the voice, the central voice in the information and all that. Is that what we read now, or is it just me? Have I lost? And did we end up in an alternative universe somewhere, yo?
No, that's what we got. That's what we got. Wow.
The black consciousness that we know of today started amongst the atheists, the real black atheists, and yet they threw tomatoes at me for being a real black atheist. Go figure that. That the conscious community was actually end up being ran by pseudoisms, man. Think about that. That next generation couldn't pull away from that idea of European God at all. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't pull away. No matter what documents that they all act like, man, how many people?
I don't know. You're cutting out. You're cutting out.
Black atheists, yo.
You're cutting out. Repeat that again.
How many, Kalam?
Repeat that again. You just cut out. Say again.
Yeah, gotta come back. All right, hold on. Right, I recognize that Dr. Ben was a real black atheist. The elders wouldn't make statements like them atheists such and such. What do you mean? Your teacher that you claim to set a defeat, Info DC, was a daggone atheist. He didn't use the word. But if you look at me and say, I don't believe in God, and you ain't worshiping no gods, no tradition, nothing, then you're a dag. I mean, what else are you? I don't believe in God. Right? So Dr. Ben, a noted atheist, real black atheist, right? Noted, you know what I'm saying, is beloved in the conscious community, but we now know that this information wasn't even understood. Couldn't have been understood.
Facts.
Couldn't have been. Else we wouldn't be banging on atheism in our community because the primary teachers, John Jackson, Hubert Harris, John Henry Clark, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Ben, the serious powerhouses that actually promoted scientific literacy was real black atheists. Funny to me. Funny to me. And so they always say the monkey thing. So I'm gonna come to this book right here.
Oh man.
Chronology, Human Evolution.
I think we need to let the people know where we can make that purchase.
You can go to Amazon and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to Amazon.
Chronology of Human Evolution. Let me go up.
Yeah. Pull that up. And so it was inspired by the chronology of the Bible by Dr. Ben. I suggest you get both of them. Pamphlet woke me up. This what woke me up right here. It woke me up for real. This little pamphlet, little book. Bam, inspired me to write this. So before I give the prediction that I ain't forgot yet, with dog predicted, I'm gonna go to the back of the book, question and answer section. What you looking for? Hold on. So, go to the section and it says, who makes the claim that humans come from monkeys? I see you got it right there. There you go.
Make sure it's being put onto my screen. So yeah, here it is right here.
Is that one in print? You might gotta go to the other one. That might not be in print because I had to take out some mistake. Let me see. There you go. See the other picture right there beside it? Right there. There you go.
Right here. All right. So here we go. The chronology of human evolution. Real Black Atheism Explained. All right. Yeah, paperback published December the 1st, 2016. The chronology of human evolution. Uncle West.
Yeah, read that part right there. That statement right there.
All right.
It's on the back of the book.
Africans had a religion in ancient Egypt. There were two types of religion in the world: supernatural religions or theistic religions. A lot of people have an idea that if a man is an atheist, that is, if he doesn't believe in a personal God, he's an irreligious person. That's not true. The Africans had an atheistic type of religion, and they were a deeply religious people because they believed that man not only has a body, but he also has a mind, soul, or spirit. If you went to the temple in ancient Egypt and you told the priest that you wanted Horus, the Egyptian Christ, to save your soul, he would tell you to not waste his goddamn time. Horus, Osiris, Isis, or nobody else was going to save your soul except you, Dr. John G. Jackson.
Go. Yeah, get him going there, bro.
Yeah. So family, all right, if you want to support what we're doing over here at Titans TV, all right, and if you want to support what the brother Ankhakek is doing, and you want to support scientific literacy, all right, I suggest you get this. You make a purchase, only $15.99, all right? The conversion rate is silly over here in the UK. So you're not spending more than £15, that's for sure. Please go ahead, make a purchase. Think of a friend, think of a family member that needs this information. All right? And go ahead, click that button, look inside, then straight away you add that to your cart. All right? Because I know there's somebody out there that needs this book. So go ahead, make the purchase and make somebody's life happy and get them cleared away from all that mysticism and nonsense and tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery. Heroisms. So here you go. So we come to the back of the book, the question and answer section, right? And it says, does human evolution explain where life on Earth originated? The answer to that question is A, evolution does not explain where life on Earth comes from. It only seeks to explain how life evolves once it gets there. See, so I don't know why the religious community be mad. I don't even know why the conscious community be mad at me. You know, evolution don't explain where life comes from. It only explains life after it's here. No one knows that answer yet. So next, check this out. Next question is, who makes the claim that humans come from monkeys? People who have not taken the time to study and understand human evolution. As a matter of fact, the claims for the most part start with the religious zealots and creationists who fight against science with ignorance, not facts. The next question is, do human beings come from monkeys? No, there is no credible scientific source that supports the idea that humans come from monkeys. Next question. Did Charles Darwin teach humans come from monkeys? All right, remember during this time, the first time you seen a person being depicted as a damn monkey was Charles Darwin. You know, white people did that to him. So I know why people don't want to deal with that, because they think it's the monkey shit. Goes on to say, no, Charles Darwin did not teach that we come from monkeys. He simply stated that extinct apes were our closest relatives. There you go. So here's a prediction that he made. Man, God, Civilization, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Men and Ice Ages. Man, God, Civilization. You see, he put man first, God, then civilizations, because out of the mind of men and women come the idea and concept of God. And if you can recognize that, yo, then you moving. You about ready to graduate. You got your cap and gown. You can get that. You got your cap and gown. You can't have your cap and gown for taking religious information and coating it with what you call consciousness. So you don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So people like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I man, shoot, I don't deal with the monotheism. You know, I mess with God. Well, the word God comes out of the monotheism. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm a spiritual. I'm that spirituality comes from the word spirit. Spirituality was a term coined by the Christians. They used that. So to be Christian was to be spiritual. Soul is also a religious statement, part of religious indoctrination. You make Jesus black, you ain't did nothing slick. You just you making the lie harder. harder for people to get out of. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, if I was to have a definition of spirituality, which we do not have, and I like to mention that the fact that somebody somewhere on this planet made the declaration, I can pretty much think who it was, that the African people are the most spiritual in the world. Man, that was somebody trying to take your money and your resources and had to give you that statement right there. Because they never gave you a definition of spirituality. The only definition they had was what? To be a Christian was spiritual. Right? So as long as you're a Christian, you become the most spiritual people on earth. And then the conscious say, yeah, we're the most spiritual on earth. What do you mean? What's the definition? Right now, if you was to look in the chat room and ask everybody for their own definition what spirituality was and what God was, they all have a different idea what spirituality was. So for me, what spirituality would be, to me, would be food, clothing, and shelter and protection of that. Because if you do not have food, there's no need to pray. If you do not have clothing, you're done in certain areas of the world. If you do not have shelter, the natural world is going to kill you all the time. So the most important thing, the very foundation of your spirituality should be your food, your clothing, and your shelter and protection. And that's what Europeans do better than you. They're actually more spiritual than you because they have secured resources, whether they took them or not. You know what I'm saying? They have secured shelter. They control it. You know what I'm saying? And they absolutely dominate resources. So they beating you at your own game. Crazy. Right? Because they promote scientific literacy. Not you. You promote religion. And by the way, your ethnic, not your ethnic, but your goddamn your code of conduct, ethics, you know what I'm saying? Code of conduct, you know what I'm saying? Has absolutely nothing to do with spirituality and religion. They're two separate things, three separate things. You know what I'm saying? Your morality has absolutely nothing to do with your religion and your spirituality. Two separate things. This is for sure. So you do not need to believe in God or even have religion to have a code of conduct, to have a code of ethics, to have morality. Feel me? You know who my favorite African is? Kalam. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu, the Zulus, the Hausa tribe, and the Mabuti Pygmies. Why are they my favorite group? Because they was non-religious. Let's talk about Shaka. Shaka actually deemed that the human character, who you was on the inside, your ability to think outside of the box is what raised the level of humanity. That if you, the human being, could conceive changing your position in the world, that you could do it. And to prove this point, he chopped their heads off of all the shaman. He said, tell you what, let your God save you. You gotta know the environment that Shaka was raised up in. The religious amongst them had stifled the people. We're gonna go to the oracle. We're gonna make the sacrifice. And they did all that, and they were still done. Shaka comes into this environment, man. He immediately goes to the inward self of understanding who you was. He talks about the strength of the mind and the human condition. He talks about these things. He gets rid of the religion thing. He does not have a particular deity. He does not do that. Right? He proceeds to destroy other African nations that had all that. He revolutionized war. You know what I'm saying? He made the Zulus a powerful force, and they were so powerful that when Europeans came in, Shaka Zulu never had to fight against the Europeans, bro. Never had to. That's one of my favorite Africans. Non-religious dude. The Hausa don't even have a religion. As a matter of fact, to this day, they have not been co-opted by Christianity. Right? They don't have a God. They deal with the moon, the sun, the stars, and all that. The Mabuti, they say that the forest is their mother and father. They don't have a religion in particular. They say the forest gives us everything that we need. right? And so we make the statement that all Africans believe in God. That's a false statement. No, Africans, you got African groups that have gods, and then you got African groups that only deal with ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Plainest, then you got Africans that don't deal with none of that. They just like their environment, particularly the hunter-gatherers. Those hunter-gatherers don't actually have a religion. You know what I'm saying? They understand that the natural world is essential to their survivability. So as we move from the stages of hunter-gathering and move through different stages, as explained in Man, God, and Civilization, showing different stages, you know what I'm saying? You'll find how charms and superstitions would later on become man's religion. Later on, all coming out of the misunderstanding or the lack of understanding of the natural world. There you go. So let me read this. Go ahead.
Real quick, before you read it, I got my good brother COE's asking, where can we get that story of Shaka Zulu from?
I'm gonna send it to you right now. Name of the book. Hell. Go ahead, man. Hold on. Oh, man. It's a book you can go to. Hold on. This guy is an actual Zulu that wrote the book. Right? He was trying to get the real story of Shaka Zulu out of there. Hold on.
And family, real quickly, again, we ain't taking no questions from you guys just tagging Titans TV. You're gonna have to do a super chat, baby. You're gonna have to do a super chat because I don't want to interrupt every 2 minutes. Okay, so for those of you guys who do drop the super chats, I will make sure I highlight it up on the screen for the good brother Ankhakek to see. I'll pin it up and I will make your statements be heard or felt. All right, let's continue.
Let me go to brother Saul Taps. He actually has the he actually brought that bit of information to the family. Hold on. Shit. No, I got the name of that book. Dang, man. Hell. I'm gonna use one of my lifelines. Ha! How about that, Kalam? Use my lifelines. I'm using mine. Watch this. But I'm gonna send you the file though, yo, when it talks about that. I'm gonna send it to you, but I need the name of the book. I hope I can answer this damn phone. Damn, I forgot the name of the book, man. Shit. Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice. You're gonna call me right back. Hold on, let me go right here. Cause as a matter of fact, I think it'd be a good thing for you to read too. Hold on, y'all. Let me grab that and send it to you, Kalam. I ain't think we just making up shit. We don't do that around here. Dang. All right, hold on. 1 second. One second. Hey, make sure y'all support Abjuwear, man. You get the hoodies, sweatshirts, shoes, socks, everything. That went past. Hold on. All right. All right, here come Kalam. Got it? Kalam. Oh, he fell off the damn thing. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Kalam, it fell off the daggone thing. Why can't you hear me? Hey.
Unc, you there?
I'm here. Where the hell you been at?
My connection is really poor.
Oh. Woo-wee. All right, did you get the thing I sent you?
I got it, but it's going to take me a while. So if you can just continue, and then when I've got the opportunity to, I will share with everybody else.
All right. Okay. So, bam. So we'll go to John Jackson's work. All right. Chapter 3. Ice Age of Men. He says right here, he said the popular opinion that Charles Darwin was the inventor of the doctrine of evolution is false. All right. First of all, Charles Darwin wasn't the father of evolution. You would consider him the father of natural selection. Natural selection is just a mechanism in evolution. All right. There's several other mechanisms. And so the debate in science are over the mechanisms, not over whether evolution is real or not. So evolution is a theory and a fact. Y'all need to look that up. Type in the word evolution as theory and a fact to get that. That's fact, F-A-C-T. It says there were numerous evolutionists before Darwin, but with the publication of the Origin of the Species in 1859, Darwin made the theory of evolution intellectually respectable. After that date, evolutionism became part of the law of modern science, and hence had to be reckoned with by all thinking men and women. Okay, so there we have it. So watch this. Natural selection is the cornerstone of modern biology. I'm going to say this again. Evolution is the cornerstone, right, of modern biology. Natural selection is the cornerstone of modern biology. So all y'all is acting like the white boy know what he was talking about, man. It's the cornerstone of modern biology, no matter what y'all say. So we keep reading. It says in 1871, Darwin's Descent of Man was published, and in this book, impressive evidence was deduced, tending to show that man and the anthropoid apes could be traced back to a common ancestor. Most of Darwin's contemporaries judged the continent of Asia, I'm going to say it again, the continent of Asia, because this is going to take us to our real conversation, the continent of Asia to be the most likely the birthplace of humanity. But Darwin held that, right, Africa had a better claim to the title of the cradle of mankind. It say, we are naturally led, this is what Darwin said, we are naturally led to inquire. He asserted, this is his prediction, where was the birthplace of man? In each great region of the world, the living mammals are closely related to the extinct species of the same region. It say, in this, therefore, probably that Africa was formerly inhabited by extinct apes closely aligned to gorillas and chimpanzees, and as these two species are now man's nearest allies, it is somewhat more probable, see, because he didn't know yet, he was making a prediction, probable that our progenitors lived on the African continent than elsewhere. Page 55 of that book, The Descent of Man. There you go. That was a prediction. His prediction was that man was aligned to the extinct anthropoids, right, or apes, you know what I'm saying? And Africa was more than likely the birthplace of humanity and not Asia. That was the prediction I was talking about, all right? And so if you come to evolution, origin and evolution of human race, published in 1910, y'all got to remember before Darwin and, before Darwin and Albert Churchwood, you had Bishop Ussher. Look up Bishop Ussher. He gave the timetable for the creation of the world. He said it was 4004 BCE, April 12th, some nonsense like that. Yeah. So before that, the majority of the world, the whole world thought that, you know, the Bible came from Asia, that came from the Garden of Eden, right? So Charles Darwin and Albert Churchwood actually challenged this. Man, so this is what the significance of these two sciences was to the world. So the Egyptians didn't know. Man, they thought, man, primordial waters and all that, you know what I mean? They had their own cosmology story. The Chinese didn't necessarily know. The Egyptians come close to bringing some elements forth, you know what I'm saying? Talking about the primordial waters, right? None, water. So we know all life comes from water. We know that life comes from stardust, right? The Egyptians was, but they didn't, they did a good job, but they didn't have it all together. Matter of fact, modern science doesn't have it all together, but that's the best explanation so far, all right? Real fast. Come over here. It say, even in the early, on page 29 of Mankind Civilization, it goes on to say, even in the early years of the present century, scientists investigating prehistoric eras were inclined to look chiefly to Asia as the original home of man. But in the year 1921, this position was strikingly challenged by the publication of the origin and evolution of the human race by Dr. Albert Churchwood. This distinguished medical man held membership in both the Royal Council, right, of Physicians and the Royal Council of Surgeons. That's over there in England, where y'all at. And besides this, he was an anthropologist and an archaeologist. It said the earliest members of the human race appeared in the interior of African continent about 2 million years ago. This is what Churchwood is saying. He said Churchwood claimed. He said then from regions of the Great Lakes, they spread over the entire continent. There you go. All right. Let me see. All right. I kind of cut it off roughly. Let me go to right here. We're talking about Asia and Africa right now. All right. We're going to go to chapter 1 in origin and evolution of the human race. Oh, Kalam Kalam is out of there. Let me see. I'll be thinking Darwin was around. It don't matter what Darwin was. I'm just saying, whether he was a racist or not, we do recognize him to be a product of his environment. And so he used terms like, he says that all human cultures came out of, I know he talked about savage races, right? But he also said that Europeans come from a savage race. They was talking about a primitive race when they was using those terms. So you got to know that the Europeans, when they was colonializing places, they was ending up in places of Africa that had already been underdeveloped by powers like, so they had us on the run for a long time since the fall of Egypt. So you got the Hyksos come in. Let me give you the real quick, and I'm gonna get back to this. So to show you how by the time those particular branches of Europeans came in, Africa was already underdeveloped. You know what I'm saying? So when they was laying their eyes on like West Africa, you know what I'm saying, to them, not to have clothes on was savage to them. All right? They don't even know the history of Europeans, you know what I'm saying, being in certain areas. Don't nobody know right now. But they was very arrogant. So to them, and Charles Darwin is actually a product of this. So Charles Darwin says out of his mouth, he calls them savage races. He says that. But he also says that the European come from a savage race. So you didn't have on clothes and all that, they considered you to be savage. This is based off of they not even understanding anthropological studies. All right? So yes, Charles Darwin was formed in an environment of racism, white supremacy. All right? But watch this. This is the interesting part. Although he was formed and forged, right? Although he had a child out of the union, I think he married his first cousin or second cousin, right? But watch this. He realized after marrying his cousin or second cousin, Charles Darwin actually did the study on what's it called? Damn it. When you somebody help me out, man.
Incest?
Yes. He did the actual study of incest, right, through plants. He was saying, man, when you mix plants too closely from the same family, that they would always come out messed up. And so he recognized that his daughter that ended up dying was really sickly all the time. And he said, man, this had to come out of this. So he was one of the first Europeans to recognize that, man, you know, marrying too close in your family, yo, gonna have your children all messed up. See, people don't know that too. Charles Darwin also comes up with the theory of understanding coral reefs, which all panned out. That's one of his greatest theories, is the coral reef, understand how they came about. You know what I'm saying? So back to the part of the racism part, man. His actual theory of natural selection actually put a cap on the racism, white supremacy, as far as, you know, well, white people are better, this, that, and the other. No, he clearly said that no, white people weren't better, that we was basically humans. You know what I'm saying? That Africa was the homeland of all of humanity. And out of that, from Africans, gave rise to other human populations. This was Charles Darwin. So his very study and his science mind tells him that the scientific racism that they was promoting during that time was wrong. So Charles Darwin came up with a theory of natural selection that actually destroyed misinformation in the scientific community. And then we know about Piltdown Man, you know what I'm saying, and what that actually stood for, and how the racist white supremacists were still trying to put the origin of humanity in Asia, in Europe. So they used Piltdown Man. They used the mantle of an orangutan, right, and the skull of a human. They put it together, and they call it Piltdown Man. When they say, well, you know, that was scientific racism. How can you trust science? Well, it was science. In 1913, the very year after the Piltdown find was found, and they was raving over it, the new origin of humanity. In the Journal of Science, an article is published against Piltdown Man. Although it might have taken 20 years to get that overturned, it was eventually overturned. Like I said, science can only defeat science. So we understand the scientific racism, but only science can correct scientific racism. So you can't tell your children, don't deal with science because of racism. You can't say that. That's why it's so important to get our people scientifically literate, so that we can have the children to go into these different fields of biology, psychology. Well, math is not a science, but they use math in science. You know what I'm saying? Mathematical fields. This is important. Archaeology, paleontology. You feel me? Like the Amaral Squad popularized this. You know, methodology, the method, the way, you know, how to study. You know what I'm saying? We brought this to the, and that's my point, that we brought this mode of study to the community with the help of other groups. We did that. Where would you be without the matrix? Like, I like the way you use that word. Without the matrix of the Amaral Squad. Where the hell would the conscious community be? We still be thinking that melanin, you know what I'm saying? Like Pseudo-Leaders was hot in 2000. It was hot. Now, you know, we were like, come on, son. You know, we get educated. They were like, come on, that shit is tomfoolery. It's a foolishship. It's the lookership, like the All-Mac piece. That's the lookership. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, man. Look, where the hell will we be without groups promoting scientific literacy and proper methodology? Where the hell will we be at? I don't know. I know I kind of got off a little bit. Let me get back on the train real fast.
Let's get it.
So from studies I have made during many years, I'm fully convinced that hidden perceived area of many scientists regarding the origin of the human race, both as the place and date are erroneous, and evidence will be brought forward to prove that the human race did not originate in Asia, but in Africa. So why you saying it? Albert Churchwood, it says this evidence will be objective and subjective as proofs of my contention against all learned men of the present day. The first question which arises is this: when and where did man make his first appearance on this earth? Biblical scholars like Usher, right? Biblical scholars tell us about 6,000 years ago. Hey, Kalam, can you look up Bishop Usher? Is that possible?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
And I hope you got the thing I sent you. Bishop Usher. All right. The first question which arises is this: when and where did man make his first appearance on this earth? Biblical scholars tell you about 6,000 years ago in Asia. The Arianist school in Asia about 20,000 years. So the Nation of Islam and all these places, some of the Asiatic black man, unknowingly or unwillingly, were teaching racism, Aryan doctrine when they said Asians, when the Moors say that the Asiatic black man from Asia, they're really promoting racism, white supremacy, because it was the Aryanists that said they come from that humanity came from Asia. The Aryan school was that we came from Asia about 20,000 years ago. They say others, including many scientists in Asia or in some mythical land which has now disappeared. Talking about Mu. They say all of them have denied Africa as the home of man. There you go. Yeah, we have it. We got that right there. Oh, you want to go to that real fast before you go to Bishop Usher?
Yeah.
Read that.
You give me which one, the yellow or the pinky purpley one?
Well, you know what? Let's give them a full dose of it. They're gonna have to sit down and take parts of the show. Basically, it's talking about let's see. The poet told them they needed props to. Yeah, read that. Go ahead.
All right. The poet told them that they needed no props to respond to the call of destiny. They needed no gods. Their ancestral spirits could not reach the heights of achievement which the person could. The disciplined self could imagine all things, achieve all things, and rise to all heights because he was human. All the person needed to do to awaken the powers locked in him was to have faith in the person, to discipline himself, and to proceed from this to explore himself, to search the eternal microcosm that he was, for satisfying dimensions of being human. The person had all the future before him to evolve perpetually into the type of human being he wanted to be. Society and the spirit forms were his allies and supporters. They were always ready to reinforce him whenever he disciplined himself and marched to a clearly stated goal. The assumption behind this approach was that the person was adequate, that he had in him all the powers he could need to realize the destiny he chose for himself. These powers inherited in him as a person. He did not receive them from any source outside of himself. Any belief in an external power was superstition, and superstition was the person's mortal foe. Powerful. Shaka killed groups of diviners and witch doctors in the effort to free his people from the grip of superstition. He wanted a nation of truly free men and women who needed no props outside of themselves in order to realize the promise of being human. The Zulus were not the only people who regarded themselves as the people whose destiny was to traverse the universe. In Rhodesia, there was the Mezezuru, the people who belonged to the heavens. Shaka the Great was the son of Senzang. I'm going to mess this up. Senzanga Kahona. He adopted. He adopted the court poet's ideal as the main inspiration of the revolution, which he led after his father's death. It was the ideological blueprint on which he built the Zulu nation. But the revolution must be seen in context. The Zulu philosophers, whose thinking was reflected in the new ideal of nationhood, had evolved out of the stage when they were dependent on religion for guidance on the establishment of a better society. Nom Kubolowana, the princess of heaven, was the last of their deities. Religion had been alive in the 1,000 years before Shaka. In all these years, it failed to resolve the conflicts in Natal. It forced men to see it as a prop, a prison of the mind, which was used by the strong to entrench their power and not to solve the problems of suffering humanity. Shaka sailed into this situation and preached that wherever human beings were oppressed, they were, in the final analysis, oppressed by consent.
Stop. Who made that statement? Who made that statement?
That's
everybody was mad at.
Or Shaka, or being oppressed by consent?
In America, who made a statement similar to that?
Was that JF? No, not JF. What's his name? One of the founding fathers.
The rapper. Nope, the rapper.
Rapper.
Kanye.
Okay.
Remember Kanye said
that? You're enslaved by consent, basically, yeah?
What did Kanye say?
God, you have to tell me,
Said it sound like a choice to me. Slave for 400 years, it sound like a choice to me. Now he messed it all up and he couldn't put it in strong context, but he basically said that you always have a choice as a human. And this is exactly what Shaka's saying. Read that again. What is Shaka saying? Shaka sailed into the situation and preached that wherever human beings were oppressed, they were, in the final analysis, oppressed by consent. The person had a many-sided mind which could traverse space and move from universe to universe and transform the human being into a conscious citizen of the cosmic order. This meant that if the person was prepared to impose certain disciplines on himself, he could become and gotta get the book to read the rest of that. And I gotta get the name of the damn book. But what I will tell you is, you know what I'm saying, that you can change your condition no matter what. So you gotta stop blaming everybody else. You can't do it, right? That we, right, the original of the original, from the original of the original mind of minds of minds, the first that ever walked upright in continental Africa proper, had the ability to create what we need to fight against the oppression. If we only open our eyes up and stop giving strength and witnesses to things outside our house, we have the power of the power from the power, because we can be the most powerful people on earth. Since Africa is the most diverse people on earth, you got the weakest people in Africa, but yet you got the strongest people in Africa. Since Africa is the most diverse place on earth, you got the most beautiful people on earth, and you got the ugliest people on earth. Since Africa is the most diverse place on earth, you got the fastest people on earth, and you got the slowest on earth. There is no contest for the slowest people on earth, so you wouldn't really find it. But the point I'm making is, we have the ability to change our situation based off of who we really are. Now, that is the power, Kalam, that we're looking for. It's the understanding of your inner self, right? And the maturation of the mind, and have the ability to graduate from pseudoisms is the first step to pushing our people forward into the spaces like we're supposed to be, bro.
Wait.
That's where I'm at. I'm trying to get the name of the book, because we got the, how they say, we got the damn receipts. Give it the name of the book, and I'm supposed to know the name of that book. You should hit me back. So that brings us, all this talk about age, and it brings us to this. New science out of Africa. I mean, out of Asia. What's all this talk about out of Asia? I thought Darwin and them changed that. Well, Chinese ain't happy about that. Right? So let's come right to this. In 1992, all right, it says, for instance, researchers reported finding a pair of 900,000-year-old skulls in Ankhakek, central China. That's Yunxian. Boy, I ain't got it like Kalam. Kalam can pronounce all that shit like that, boy. I ain't there yet. Okay? In central China, it says their features looked like a mix of Homo erectus and Homo sapiens, which was odd since Homo sapiens should theoretically have been firmly sequestered in Africa at the time. Delhi man, look up Delhi man. That's D-A-L-I man, right? A 260,000-year-old skull found 14 years earlier in the central province of Shanxi had a similar mix of features, okay? It's a typical of transitional forms that cannot be subscribed to any well-defined species. Although Ankhakek and Delhi man fossils are particularly fine examples of many more have been found in East Asia. So they find these skulls, these mixtures of Homo sapiens, you know what I'm saying, and Homo erectus in Asia. So it's starting to have, people are starting to now question, you know what I'm saying, the out of Africa theory. But see, that's what science does. When you purport a theory, right, immediately after you purport this theory, right, you're going to get other theories to try to defeat that. Whenever you write a scientific paper, that's what they do. They immediately come out against it, right? This is the environment of science. Scientists don't get mad. Scholars don't get mad. They just keep working to find the evidence. And when I'm talking about a theory, I'm talking about a scientific theory. So for them to overturn, right, the out of Africa theory, right, they would have to come up with a theory that explains, watch this, that explains everything that the out of Africa theory explains and adds to the theory. I'm going to say this again. For the out of Africa theory to be overturned, you got out of Africa 1 and out of Africa 2. There's a difference. Y'all need to read both of them. Out of Africa 1 and out of Africa 2. For the out of Asia theory to overturn the out of Africa theory, for the out of Africa, for the out of Asia theory to overturn the out of Africa theory, it had to explain everything that the out of Africa theory explains and add to it. Plain and simple. So we move on real fast. We look at the Delhi man. Look at that fossil. Okay, let's come here. On page 30. I'm on page 30. Reading the article. It says, Wu Zenig's suggestion, however, remains radical. He believes that transitional fossils are evidence of Asian Homo erectus evolving into our own species in Asia. He said that Peking man was an ancestor of modern Asian people, and that Asia should have equal billing with Africa as birthplace of our species. While some Chinese paleontologists support this view, others see the hint of nationalism at play. You already know it. It's to bolster his argument that China's hominids were evolving along similar lines to those in Africa. Wu Zenig, along with Sheila Athendia of Texas A&M University, recently showed that the Delhi skull has many features in common with early Homo sapien fossils from Morocco. Okay, watch this. So we know now, and Moore's misuses, and brother Ishmael Bey also misused the Moroccan find. Exactly, the Moroccan find actually takes the oldest Homo sapiens found in Africa from the Rift Valley in East Africa, and it takes you to Morocco. Now, At 300,000 goddamn years, there ain't nobody called Moors. There ain't no damn place called Morocco. So for any more to try to misuse that is a bunch of foolery. Tomfoolery to be exact. It's a bunch of bunk. So 300,000 years ago, ain't no Moors, ain't no hominids running around with grass feathers on, calling themselves Moors. Cut it out. So they misuse this fine to say, see, here you go, in Morocco, get out of here. There is no place called Morocco. It's just called Morocco now. But the fines were there 300,000 years before that. Just want to put that in place. It says Delhi skull, many features in common with the early Homo sapien fossils from Morocco. Watch this. It says the genetic evidence, however, see that? That's why I talked about the actual mapping of the human genome. Right? Because the mapping of the Homo genome added more evidence to the outer Africa theory, where it's not just based off the fossils now. It's based off genetics and genes. It says, however, the genetic evidence, however, still points to a common African origin. 98% of the DNA in Chinese population can be traced back to Africa. There you go, it's out of here. And so let's look at the map. I'm sorry, I don't got the map. I don't think y'all can see this though. The outer Africa early, right? It says until recently, the consensus was that Homo sapiens left Africa around 60,000 years ago. Growing evidence suggests that is wrong. It says that was wrong, right? It says that, let me see. It says that Africans developed in Africa earlier than that. And so we know that. We know, I just gave you one. I gave you a fine in Morocco, okay? That at 300,000 years, so we know that Homo sapiens is now early. So we always got to stay on upgrade. So I would say as of 2019, the outer Africa theory, you know what I'm saying, still stands strong. You know what I'm saying? As of 2019, we're moving from the Rift Valley for Homo sapiens, you know what I'm saying? And the oldest find is in Morocco. Now, as for the outer Asia, right, what you need to know is they got these transitional fossils everywhere. So we know what Homo sapien is. Homo sapiens sapien is actually a conglomerate of archaic humans. Look up DNA evidence with the Hausa tribe, right? They have archaic, quote unquote, DNA, all right? Denisovan in their blood, right? So we know that the Homo sapiens sapien is really a hodgepodge of different archaic forms that come together to form Homo sapiens sapien in Africa first, all right? And so if you come to Asia, the map of Asia, right, it talks about the ancestral hominids is in Asia, but they migrate to Africa to turn to Homo sapiens sapiens. They're the oldest place of Homo sapiens in Africa. So even if you fight for Asia, right, Darwin was right, because when Homo sapiens first formed, right, as of 2019, they find it in Africa. Based off of the DNA, you'll find it's in Africa proper. So I hope I kind of cleared that up, bro, and I hope y'all kind of got that, okay? I think that's very, very important, because the pseudos are trying to just see Delhi man, that's the oldest. No, they messed up Delhi man. Delhi man is an archaic human, okay? Robust features. It's not a Homo sapiens sapien. You know what I'm saying? It might be, it's archaic Homo sapiens sapiens with mixed features, transitional fossils, mixed fossils, all right? Inbreeding occurred. So our Homo sapiens sapien lineage was inbreeding, right? These archaic Homo forms, you know what I'm saying, was inbreeding. So basically what they did by studying baboons, what they found out was that different species of baboons, when their particular terrain meets, with that area where they're living at, where it crosses, you always find mixing or inbreeding. All right, you'll find this, okay? You'll find these hybrids, right? So the same with Homo sapiens, you know what I'm saying, and the other species, wherever they range kind of crosses, you'll find mixing. All right, and so if this particular hominid is within 2 million years of each other, they can actually mix. That's it. So when you talk shit about, oh, the white man Neanderthal, you don't know what you're talking about. First of all, the white man ain't Neanderthal. But the fact that Africans that left out of Africa mixed with Neanderthal, it didn't give rise to Europeans like people act like. The Homo sapiens statement that left out of Africa got transformed by an environment, right? Before it even got there to mix with Neanderthal, Homo Neanderthal, it was already mixed with archaic human before it left Africa. So to talk shit about all non-Africans got Neanderthal in them, right? And that's why white people is crazy. It's a crazy statement to mix, because before Africans ever left Africa, they was already mixed. That's the end of this there. Kalam, you want to take any questions or something like that? I just want to put that in the how they say, how the pseudo says, in the ethers.
Hey. All right. Y'all catching me having a little snack right about now. I'm trying to eat my dinner.
Eat your dinner.
All right.
Eat your dinner. I just want to show that we was already to form Homo sapiens sapiens. As a matter of fact, they got these shells that they find in South Africa, right? They found them all the way up in West Africa. They're like, how them shells get there? Because they had like this trade network. These hominids, these like you know what I mean? These different archaic humans, they was trading, and that's crazy as hell. But this is what the evidence is shown. That like maybe the back of your cranium and your jaw come from one area, and different facial features come from this area. They all come together to form, you know what I mean? So Homo sapiens sapiens is really a hodgepodge of different archaic Homo species. That's what it is. So we're talking shit about Neanderthal mixing or Homo sapiens mixing. We're special because we did mix before we left. A00 is actually a function of mixing. That's archaic human. All right. There you go. So when China tries to claim, or Asia tries to claim the origin of humanity, let me share my screen. Now we got to go a little bit, Kalam, so I can finish this off. Let me share my screen here. It's not just the fossil finds, it's the genetic evidence. And it's not just the genetic evidence. We want to talk about crucibles right now. So we need to go down to South Africa to finish this thing off, right? Where we can know the origin of human culture, where Homo sapiens sapiens really get their thing on. And I talk about this all the time. I talk about pinnacle point. Share my screen. By the way, all this information will be in my upcoming book, my second book. Everything I talked about right here will be in my upcoming book. So here we go. All right, can you see that? Kalam. Or do you need to share that, Kalam?
No. Huh? We can see it. We can see it.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
The crucible. The people see it.
Yeah, the crucible of culture. I'm seeing it right now on YouTube as well. They can see it.
So here we go. In the journal of Nature, the crucible of culture. All right, read this article. Read the article. All right. So in this article, what it's talking about is, so we got different places down here, all the way to the bottom, right? You'll see residents of Bloomblast Cave. All right, process orchard to produce and store pigment. All right, Bloomblast Cave. All at Pinnacle Point, you'll find your first shellfish eaters. All right, these shellfish eaters actually was understood how tides functioned. And so they broke down this iron ochre, you know what I'm saying? They used the red iron ochre to break down and mix egg yolk with it to actually make this pigment, this color, right? And they painted themselves. But this is symbolic thought. So why would they paint themselves red? What we know is a woman's menstrual cycle actually coincides most times with the moon cycles. I'm gonna say this again. A woman's period actually coincides with the moon cycles. We know the moon cycles actually coincide with the tides. You get high tide, low tide. The moon actually affects the tides on planet Earth. So when it's low tide, the symbolic ritual of painting your body based off of the woman's menstrual cycle, right, ties into an essential time to go get your food. So today, our rituals are really death rituals because these death rituals tie into Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. Our rituals do not tie into our survivability. So ancient man rituals actually tied into us food, clothing, shelter. So the ritual was to remind you of something that was important, and it tied back into the woman's menstrual cycle, which ties back into the moon cycle, which tied back into the tide. So at low tide, these ancient humans could go to the sea and take the shellfish out and eat. So they had like a system, like a moon calendar system. The earliest form of understanding the moon cycles is right there. But this is symbolic thought with the pigmentation and the body paint, right? And technology and invention to understanding tides and things as they should eat. Important part in culture of symbolic thought. You do not have this in Asia and China. So you got Bloom Blanc Cave. I just read that. You got Still Bay culture, inhabited Bloom Blanc Cave and other sites, right, in South Africa. Emerged Aldrich shows, hold on, the clearest evidence of early symbolic thought. There you go. Pinnacle Point, Bloom Blanc Cave. Okay. Look at that, Kalam. I got East London all the way down. That's funny, right? Place name, East London. Funny.
East London, right. Yeah. Port Elizabeth, Cape Town. I see it.
So you know who colonized it earlier. People take their place name with them, bro. I'm going to say this again. People take their place names with them. That's why when the Saul Tech was talking about the place name Kemet, couldn't have meant the people, because the place name only talks about the place. So we know for sure that the Europeans took place names to places like South Africa and North America. That's how you know who named the place name, because the place name London is in Europe. Am I not right or wrong, Kalam? Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
When you go to North America and find Old York, when you find New Jersey, these places are in Europe. When you find indigenous place names, you only find indigenous place names in North America, not unless people from North America go to different places and take their place names. So if you want to know where people came from, you look at their place names. So the oldest place names are indigenous place names in North America. So we know when you call Kemet couldn't be in the black land, it was the aggregated land. Kemet, we find the word Kemet all in Central Africa, all over Central Africa, because these are indigenous place names. So the place name is indigenous and not talking about the people. But let me move on. I just want to throw it in there real quick. Because, you know, we had my brother Netanyahu coming in there. He just didn't understand what place name was at all. Still Bay culture. We got cooling phase. So remember, at about 160,000 years ago, you got these great ice ages. So watch this. These people right here are the only people residing on planet Earth at 160,000 years. No other people on Earth. The great glacial stage at 160,000 years had wiped out all human beings that's in Asia. They don't find Homo sapiens sapiens nowhere but right here. So these are really the seed people of planet Earth right here. Then you got the Howie's port culture flourishing in South Africa. All right. Expansion of modern human population of Africa and onto other continents. All right. So right here, you go from 125,000 years, look, warm interglacial period, right? Then you got the, hold on, the start of the most recent ice age between 125 and 100,000 years. That's why I talk about 160,000 years. These people are coming right here to the bottom and are exploiting these marine resources right here. Rich. So these people traveled all the way down from Northern Africa to get down here during these ice ages. All right. So you got the Still Bay culture. You got Bloom Blanc Cave, all these cave systems. You got Howell's Point, Howell's Port culture. This is what we're calling the crucible. Plain and simple. The crucible of culture is right here in South Africa. Not North Africa, not Asia, not nowhere else. Right here in South Africa. And so we got the Out of Africa theory to support that. We got genetic evidence, right, to support the cultures and symbolic thought all started in Africa. We got these caving systems right here where you find a Bloomloft cave, you find these figurines at Pinnacle Point, right? At Pinnacle Point, you'll find iron ochre, you know what I'm saying? You'll find paint shops in these areas where they was painting, your first chemists, you know what I'm saying? All this you find right down here in South Africa, not in Egypt, not nowhere else but right here. These, I'm showing you, ladies and gentlemen, are the seed people. This is the crucible of culture right here. No other place on earth can bold that. So what I like to say is, I heard y'all talking about yesterday about the intelligence of Homo sapiens sapien. I like to tell you that at 160,000 years ago, at 300,000 years ago, that Homo sapiens sapiens was just as smart back then as they are today. Plain and simple, same intelligence level. Just want to put that out there. All right, but I think I'm done right here, Kalam. I think I did a pretty good job right here.
I think you did a pretty good job as well. I will second you on that. I want to know, family members out there, who would give me a third, a fourth, and a fifth on it being a great show? I see we got the Sister Kaba and Empty Unct already saying thumb up the show, people. Thumb up the show indeed. Let us know how much you're enjoying the show. Show us some love and all that good stuff. So now this is the part of the show where we are going to take some questions. I may just open it.
Shout out to Sister Kaba, yo. Sister Kaba serious, man.
So
with the intellect. Some talking about. She leads with the intellect. But go ahead.
That's right. So family, I'm going to give you a few minutes to post up your questions. All right. And those of you guys who do want to come on, I'm sending the link right here for you guys to jump on. All right. And you can just pose one question to the brother whilst we're on air. But when we do go off air, and if the brother still has some free time, then you can kind of chop it up with him. But it's only one question if you are going to come on live with us. All right. The link has been posted. AR23 says, good show, but I don't agree with most of his stuff. Oh, man.
You know why, though? Hold on. You know why, though, Kalam?
What's that?
That person is not scientifically literate, and I understand they can't graduate. I understand. Seriously, I get it. Like, you just can't graduate. Yeah, you should let them on the show and ask them, well, what's the difference? Give me your alternative. And watch.
AR23, baby, come on.
AR23. Come on, give us your alternative to everything I just said. You know what I'm saying? He gonna leave the plane and start flying a little bit there. Oh, the white people racist. I mean, all that.
Actually, do you know what? Is it possible, if you can come on the show, do you know anything about flat earth theory?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Why would I debate the flat earth theory standing on the earth that ain't flat? Why? That's not even a debate. Do you get that, though? Do you really get that? That you cannot show me another object in the cosmos that's just flat. Think about that, Kalam. You feel me with that, right?
Yeah.
With all that shit, without even getting complicated, as you look to the cosmos, show me one flat thing. Go to the astral belt, the shit ain't flat. They jagged pieces, you know what I'm saying? Where is the, what the moon ain't flat and it ain't round neither. Tell people to study. Listen, man. Study the size and shape of the earth, man. Most people ain't studied that. It's called geodesity. Look that up real quick while we moving. Geodesity.
Okay. I've got geo and what else?
Geodensity.
Geodensity?
Yes, geodesity. Am I saying it right?
I think there is something called geodensity. Let me quickly share my screen.
Geodesy, Geodesy. That's it.
Oh, geodesy. I don't know, but we got geodensity.
Geodesy.
Okay, SY.
Geo. That's it.
The branch of mathematics dealing with the shape and area of the earth or large portions of it. All right.
So if you don't even understand that scientific study of it, then why would I do that? Why would I let you confuse and just get everybody all mixed up and making up shit that ain't there? You know what I'm saying? If you can't even read the Meta Nature, you don't know what the ancients were saying about the earth. So you see that though, right?
Wow. Okay.
You ain't even know about that study right there, did you?
Nah, I didn't.
Right. They don't neither. I'm not arguing over no damn flat earth. I refuse to argue about a flat earth, you know what I'm saying, on an earth that ain't flat. I'm just not going to do it. People don't even realize the size and the magnitude on how big the earth is, bro. That's the first thing. That people don't even realize how big the earth is, you know what I mean, as opposed to in the actual size of human beings.
Can Unk explain some claims about pyramids in the Cretaceous periods?
Yeah. Give me a date of the Cretaceous period. Look it up. Let's do that. Let's do it this way.
Cretaceous period, approximately 14.5 million years ago.
There you go. So the lecture we talked about when humans came.
Sorry, 145 million years ago.
Right. So how in the hell can you build pyramids from 100 million, 79 million, 65 million when the oldest find we got of Homo sapiens sapiens is 300,000 years ago in Morocco? So no, there's nobody here to build the motherfucking pyramids. That's it. That's how I explain that. Get past that. Show me a 65 million year old Homo sapien sapien find. Then we can talk about that. There you go. Next. Next. Pseudo out of there. That's why we study biological human evolution. Because guess what, y'all? The community will die if the doctors in our community, you know what I'm saying, don't understand biological human evolution. Our community will die because our community is surrounded by pathogens and viruses and bacteria, and all these pathogens and viruses and bacteria, you know what I'm saying, they evolve and transform in different environments. So if you was a quote unquote dealing with herbs, the herb you use today might not work a year later. Because the thing that you was treating, the viruses you was treating, the virus that was being treated by that particular herb, that virus has now transformed, right? And that virus, and it has developed a protection against that particular herb. That's why they try to get you to take all your shit. What's it called, man? The penicillin and all that, the antibiotics. Don't waste all that shit, and don't overtake antibiotics because these diseases develop resistance to it. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So we've got another question coming through in a hot minute. Give me a second. So another question is, the people of North Africa are mixed Eurasians, Berbers, and they are originally people to bring anti-Black ideology below the Sahara. What does Unk think of this?
North African are mixed Eurasian Berbers. Yep, you do got Berbers that's been in there since about 7,000 years they've been in there. Let me see. And they are original people to bring anti-Black. Well, we can't talk about anti-Black ideology because the Black ideology started with the racist white supremacists in the 1800s. That's why we know Kimmy didn't call himself the Black people, because they didn't have a racial distinction of color. They didn't have color racisms. That would be part of color racisms. Nope.
Okay.
Man, they didn't look at themselves as being they wasn't doing they weren't doing that. Nope, they wasn't doing that. Where I'm wrong at? Unk is wrong. Unk is wrong. What is it? Unk is wrong on that. Hold on. Unk is wrong on that. Stop. My parents are doctors and pharmacists, but when I tried to tell my mom on human evolution, she told me, you're denying There you go. Okay, well, that's why we're, hey, where they work at, we want to stay away from them. They just working a job. They ain't at the forefront of medicine at all. They are pharmacists. They just mix the drugs together. So they don't know. No. To work in a pharmacy, you do not have to understand evolution. No. They're not creating the medicines. I get it.
Sometimes we have what we call cognitive dissonance. Even though, you know, we've gone through our doctorate, we know the scientific method, we know critical thinking, but when we step into those churches or mosques, it seems as though our critical mind just switches off.
So watch this though. So that's why we did this. We said right here in the book. It says in the book. See, that's why you need to give your parents this book. It says, does human evolution explain how humans came to Earth? No, it only explains how humans have evolved over time on the planet. So that God could have made humans and put them on Earth. You get that, Kalam? There you go. They can relax.
All right.
It's like Uncle explain the curvature of the Earth. Did somebody ask me that question?
All right, let me he says about the travel on all right, hell no. All right, so we've got a question over here from Marshall Mathers, I believe. How did blind chemistry create mind intelligence, meaning altruism and morality?
What? Hey, dog, you're a little bit too small for me for that question. I don't know what the hell you talking about. How did blind chemistry? Man, I don't know. What?
I think he's talking about
I know.
How did human consciousness emerge?
With the development of the brain. There's no consciousness without the brain. You need a person with a brain to talk about human consciousness. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, that's an idea. That's the study of the brain. By the way, the human brain has not been thoroughly mapped out yet. They're working on that. Just like the human genome wasn't mapped out. So this idea of consciousness is developed through the mind and the brain, because the mind is just an idea. Where is your mind at? The ultimate mind. Where is your mind at? Right, it's the brain and the functioning parts of the brain that would even allow you to even understand what the ego is. With Sigmund Freud talked about that. You know what I'm saying? And your mind and all that shit. That's based off of development of the frontal lobe. Thinking, your ability to think. All right. What's the next question?
How, again, from Marshall Mathers, how do living fossils remain unchanged over supposed hundreds of millions of years?
Because they're fossilized. You got igneous rocks and sediment rocks. The only place you find, the fossils, you find them in the sediments. They're fossilized. Okay, and the rocks. You take a date of the damn rocks. That's how they stay there. They got to be fossilized, though. It's shit because this genetic material breaks down. That's why it's hard to find fossils, hard to find teeth, because they are biodegradable. But the rock.
Yeah, carry on. Unc. Oh, you. Okay. Yeah, I thought you was on the floor. No?
Okay.
All right. Does anybody on the panel here have any questions? Anybody on the panel have any questions? Please unmute your mic.
Yes, I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
Thought it was on.
Brothers, thank you, Unc, for speaking to me, bro.
It's good, man.
I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
Action in the end, you know what I mean? And so I had posted in another conversation the other day, I had posted a video of a professor of DNA, one of those genealogists, talking about how they had found that the Neanderthal genes, when they genomed them or whatever they do with them, that it's specifically the only connected to the Neanderthals and can find genes that relate to them are white people and Asian white people. So when you those had already mixed with before they left Africa, I'm trying to figure out how how Africans in Africa with Neanderthal genes, and only outside of Africa we can find.
No, I agree with you on that, bro. I never said that Africans inside of Africa had Neanderthal genes. Did you hear me say that?
Oh, that's what I thought I heard you say. I probably misunderstood you. Sorry.
No, here's the running joke, right? And we never gonna use just one geneticist paper anyway. But here's a running joke that we're all mad at Neanderthal, which is nothing but archaic human, right? Form. But we're not mad at the archaic human that produced the genome, the A00. We're not mad at them. You know what I'm saying? So what's the damn difference between Neanderthal and you go to Cameroon, and a lot of people carry the marker A00 of archaic extinct species that they don't even know what the hell it is. What's the difference between the two? That's the joke.
That's one gene that you're mentioning. Neanderthals carry, Africans don't carry, and you can't find them in African.
That's fine though. I know. Listen. What is the difference between the archaic human Homo Neanderthal and the archaic human that they don't even know about, but they know it there because of his genes? Or how about Homo Neanderthal? No, how about Homo erectus? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between those genes? What's the problem?
They have distinct, brother. They have different genes. Distinct.
What do you mean?
Distinctive.
What? No. First of all, most people have a disdain for Neanderthal. Am I correct?
Right, but that's not all right. Hold on, before you go there, do we not? Can we admit that Africans are the only people on the planet that are still to this day creating? Other people outside of Africa don't, to this day, aren't creators of new genes.
Oh, you know what?
We have Africans.
I don't know about that. You mean new, not new? You only got 23 chromosomes and 23 chromosomes, 46. What do you mean, new genes? You mean mutation? Right, no, we're not the only people creating.
No. The Africans are the only people on the planet continually make new. I guess maybe you wouldn't call them genes, but DNA. So, like how we have blonde hair, some mutations, and or longer fingernails or longer. These are mutations. Black Africans are the only people continue new types and new genes. That's only outside of Africa. You can't do that because they all share that one relative that we know as.
All right, hold on. There are no new genes. How about that? There aren't any new genes because old genes can do new tricks. It's called the genetic toolkit. This is a reference for everybody. Genetic toolkit. There aren't any new genes. So what you're really saying is mutations. When we talk about, hold on.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
When we speak in terms of genes and alleles, alleles are variations of a gene, right? These variations will occur everywhere. Now we can know where the allele, where the variation will start out at. You know what I'm saying? But you got different variations of certain genes, like skin color. I think the brother talked about that yesterday. I don't want to go into that. And I know he gave a damn good explanation of that shit. So there is no mutations occur based off of this. Here you go. We got science, genes, and an environment. It's based off.
I already agreed. I already agreed with you that it's probably a mutation.
Right.
Not
right. But so you can't say. Hold on. You can't say. No, that's why I give you the book.
Just let me finish the thought, brother.
All right, go ahead. Finish it.
The point that I'm trying to make though is that the ability for Africans alone on the planet to create new or not necessarily mutations, because white people are mutations, but there's another word. For instance, when those Africans were able to come up with those whatever you call them to fight HIV, and so HIV then no longer affected them in a certain part of East Africa. Only Africans are able to do that because the
no. Okay, go ahead. But the Europeans actually got a mutation to help to fight AIDS first, though. But what I'm trying to tell you is a mutation is just that. Okay. It's a mutation. So You know, Africans are still mutating on the continent. We're proof of that because we're not from the original gene pool anyway. African Americans, you neither. You in the UK, you know what I'm saying? We're mutated. We're mutations.
No, I agree with that. We are. I'm talking about Africans in.
No. Africans in the continent of Africa, they have the most diverse. The statement is they have the most diverse gene pool. Ain't no more.
Why they have the most diverse gene. Back to my point, they diverse gene pool because they have genes on the haven't been markered, and so those genes, when things that haven't been marketed, create a whole other gene that hasn't been marketed. So Africans are the only people on the planet don't have Neanderthal genes, and number two, can still create new genes that have never been seen or marketed because everyone outside of Africa contains those share those same genes with the first Eve or so-called Eve that passed. But those Africans in Africa have such a diverse that we haven't been able to marker all of the genes, and when those genes make more new genes, and so that's where I'm trying to get at.
All right, so where you read that at? Where you read that? First of all, there aren't no new genes. Old genes, new tricks. They figured that out. Look up old genes, new tricks. The hoax gene, like genetic toolkit. You look at the hoax gene, HOX gene. Okay, and we say that is old. The old genes are producing new tricks. So if you're saying there aren't any new genes, I would agree with you because it's the old genes that you find in Africa first, and these genes are taken out to the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? And based off of genetic mutation, these old genes can do new tricks. So I agree to that. So what I'm saying, mutations, you know what I'm saying? These occur based
I think we're getting caught up on the words mutations and genes, and maybe I need
but a mutation.
Understand a little more. Maybe I need to be able to have
environment causes. Listen. The genes, the chromosomes break down into genes, right? The genes break down to alleles. Variations of a gene is an allele. You know, my brother always talk about the demi level. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so the environment affects the demi level, which corresponds to genes. So the environment affects the genes and causes the gene to produce mutations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're saying that other people can't make, that's not true. Because if they got the original human genome, like you just admitted, then of course they could do that.
No, because they don't have the original genome. There is no original genome, brother. The only people that have this original genome that you're talking about are people that come after Eve and left Eve.
Hold on.
Those people share a very similar gene because they share that ancestor. But they have people, just like, for instance, when you go to African Ancestry or 23andMe, we know that some of the best ones are the ones that were able to go around and have the most samples of genes or markers. So
genetic markers, mutations.
Okay, mutations.
So, let me back away from the original genome thing. I don't want to say that. Let me scratch that from the record. Can I scratch that?
The point is that if you don't have samples to be able people in Africa, because you haven't taken samples from enough people, that's just proven that we don't have all the genes on record, and we have to keep. My point to that is that the reason
they know how many genes
samples and to sample other people is such a diversity in Africa that
stop right there.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, freeze. Hey, Kalam. Where Kalam at?
The conversation.
Hold on. We got to find the human genome. Where you at, Kalam? Go to the human genome. It'll tell you how many genes we got. Go there.
Give me a second.
We're going to get this. We're going to nip this in the butt. And then I'm going to hit you with the... you. Oh, man.
You're breaking up, Aunt.
And then I'm gonna hit you with the. I need the article. right there. I thought you just showed that. 20,000 visits.
Hello?
I'm right here. We here.
Okay.
So while you doing that, I want you to find out their estimate of what? 19 to 20,000 human protein coding genes. Like I said, I got that right. What are you talking about? That's it anyway in all humans. That's it. Look, there you go. All right, I knew I wasn't getting old. There you go. So they thought it was millions of this. That's the point. That's why it takes us back to the hoax gene in the toolkit. They thought before they mapped it that there were millions of genes, and they found out that nature is very simple. There's only 20 protein coding genes, 20,000.
Right.
It was like, wow,
you know,
and they say, well, how the hell did they get all the different variations? Well, that's why
the main word is variation and code. Hold on. The main word is variation.
Hold on. Listen. Wait, this is a complicated subject. We can't talk over each other, yo. Well, I promise you, I won't take long, and you got to make sure
take your time, brother. Take your time.
Because this is a gentleman's game, right? This is very complex shit we talked about. Most people can't even have this conversation with us, bro. So we're gonna confuse the people if we talk over each other. I'm simply making the case. This is the case I'm making, right? And maybe I'm not understanding your question. I'm saying that there are only 19,000 to 20,000 genes, period. That's all they found in the mapping of the human genome. And Kalam say 2,000. I say 2003. He's probably right? So I introduced in the conversation the hoax gene. Okay, now the hoax gene, you know what I'm saying, actually, or genetic toolkit, it actually takes old genes, you know what I'm saying, to make different variations across the board, period. So you don't need a whole lot of genes like they thought. It's different variations, you feel me, that actually do it, of the old genes doing new tricks. So old genes that already exist can do different things.
Okay. All right. I agree with you, brother. Okay, hold on. Real quick. I agree with you on that. So maybe my context were wrong. Is the variables, the variations that you're talking about, the code, 20,000 codes, because you can take a 4-number code and you can come up with 1,000 different codes, same 4 codes, but you're coming up with different variables, different variations of it. And
yes.
In Africa.
I agree with you on that, though.
We have the most ability. Just hear me out, so we're not speaking over each other.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're here in Africa, I mean, not here in Africa. Excuse me. Because those people in Africa have they have the higher ability to create more variations.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all.
Yeah, you're right.
Coming on here about the Neanderthal, but thank you for answering my question, brother Ankh. I got a lot of respect for you, man, and keep doing what you're doing.
I'm glad. You see how we worked that out, though?
Of course, brother. Listen, I love it, man.
Yep, how we do it. There you go.
All right. Let's get some quick questions. Anybody else who wants to ask a last-minute question, because we are running out of time. We don't want the show to go on too long.
Nope.
And then you guys who are in the chat section, I know you want to ask questions. Unfortunately, we're not going to take any more questions. The only thing that can sway me, as per usual, is the super chats. So if you're dropping a super chat, I have no option but to honor your pledge. So that's the only way. I apologize, but I have dropped the link for those of you guys who aren't available for the super chats that to come on whilst we're on air or off air and ask your last question. All right. So don't tell me I haven't given you all the ways. Yeah. Go ahead, Unc.
Yeah.
My internet.
Hey, make sure they subscribe to the Real Fire. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe to the Real Black Atheist on Fire channel and the Raw Squad media channel on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe. All right, go ahead, Kalam.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, anybody else that wants to get their question in on the panel, now is your opportunity. Forgive me, family, if my mic is going to cut out a little bit, or I don't hear what everybody's saying. The internet is just a bit choppy over here. But yeah, we got don't forget to make your purchases of the Chronology of Human Evolution by Brother Unquest, i.e. the real black atheist, i.e. The God Killer himself, i.e. Ankhakek, i.e. Mr. Amun-Ra Squad. All right. Now, of course, the Amun-Ra Squad is a collective of great intellectual minds, throughout the US. But I'm gonna call him Mr. Amun-Ra Squad himself. All right. So yeah, over here, Amun-Ra Squad. Sorry, over here, Amazon Chronology of Human Evolution, Real Black Atheism, Explore Unquest. Make your purchases.
Hey, and abjeware.com, man. I gotta keep throwing that in there, man.
Oh yeah, the Abjeware, man. Come on. We quickly get that in. There's quite a few people over here in the UK that's rocking the Abjeware indeed. So your stuff is flying, man. It's flying. So let's just quickly get it up for the merchandise. All right, that's the Abjeware merchandise right there for your red, black, and green, baby. Yeah,
I got
right. Look at that.
All kinds of hoods. I got saved by melanin. I got the saved by melanin shirts, bro.
Okay.
You see all the shoes?
Big. Yeah, buddy. The green one in here. All right. The slides, everything. I like the little detail on the slides there, That made it for me still. Yeah. All right, family. So here you go, man. Make sure you do grab your Abjeware, and support the movement.
No religion. For all my real black atheists out there, I got the no religion shirts and sweat hoods. No religion, baby. RBA, got the RBA shirts. No religion.
Jeez.
You see that?
Yeah, I see it. All right. So that's good, man. Family, I'm actually going to shut down the show. I think it's a nice place to shut down the show. Again, if you want to join us, the link has been.
Do you have some people on the panel want to ask a question?
Does anybody on here want to ask a question?
Yeah.
Before we close down.
Afro man.
Yeah. I was gonna ask about the Paraka skull that they found or something like that. I don't know. Some people, I was having a debate with some of my boys about it, and they were telling me about how they've got aliens and all that type of stuff there, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm just like, yo, listen, this stuff can easily be debunked. So yeah, I wanted to know, have you heard of it, and what's your opinion on it?
A bunch of folly to take you away from the reality of the world you're living in right now. That's why UFOs is called UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Until they identify them damn objects, we don't know what the hell they is. It could be any damn thing. Then here's the question: why is it, since we study biological human evolution, why is it that all aliens follow the same body plan as humans? Y'all notice that? Eyes, head, arms, you know what I'm saying? The same body plan. The same body plan the evolution is tinkering with. The same fish. Read the book, Your Inner Fish. Fish have the same body plan. Shoulders, out of the shoulder, there's one bone comes out the shoulders. How many bones you got from your elbow to your wrist, brother?
To say about 4, maybe.
Two. You got 2. You got one bone that comes out your shoulder, right or wrong?
Yeah.
You go to your elbow, right? From your elbow to your wrist, how many bones? 2, right? Get your wrist, many bones. So it's 1 bone, 2 bones, then many bones. Well, fish follow the same body plan. If you was to go get a fish from the market, cut it open and look at the skeletal, and the shape is just like a human skeleton.
Okay.
Same thing with a daggone crocodile, same skeleton. So and we say animals with skeletal systems. They had the same body plans. That's how we know that a human is related to a dog, related to a cat, related to a fish, because they got the same body plan. So we were talking about genes earlier. So these same genes variate in such a form where they develop a species that can survive underwater. So we know whales were dinosaurs that started on land. They was mammals, because a whale is not a fish, it's a mammal, and end up in the water. I say all that to say that why is the aliens sharing the same damn body plan of the inhabitants of planet Earth? Yeah, you got him right there, bro.
So what's this Paracas skull that they found? Because it was an elongated skull. So I didn't really understand what they're. I don't know.
They don't even know what it is. So the question is, where is the anthropological study of the skull? Let's have that.
Okay.
So you do have deformities. You do have deformities all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in an imperfect world, so you might have a deformed skull. Let's look at it. Let's look at the anthropological makeup. It might just be a human skull deformed.
Yep.
So the pseudo will take and say, see, that's an alien. But a paleontologist actually study bones will give you the reason. So really, you know, we need to all understand what anatomy is so you can't be tricked. And so remember, scientific literacy, right, helps protect you against the charlatans in our community.
All right, family, I know you don't want us to keep on going. All right, but I'm fearing I'm gonna shut down the show.
Yeah,
before I do shut down the show, before I do shut down the show, I got a special guest that's just joining us. Guest is on the panel, you know, all the way from the UK. That you lot always used to chop it up with. Guess he's on here.
Oh,
let me get the black select.
The black select. He don't even know that name, do he? He don't even know that name. Afro Pseudo, what's going on, Ankhakek?
What up, bro?
We got brother Easy, you know. He's up in the building.
Ankhakek, you forgot how many you forgot how many times I gave you, Alsa, and Wajao that work.
Yeah, well, I know you dreaming, yo. Wake up out that dream. I'm like Muhammad Ali, yo. If you think about beating your dream, yo, I'm gonna smack the hell out you.
Your word, bro. I really appreciate the fact that you still putting in this work for the people, bro. Wake them up out of this thing, bro. Wake them up.
I'm waking up. What you doing? You still on that? What you on? What you at? Have you graduated yet?
Bruv, you have to remember, I got the supreme wisdom, so I'm waiting, you know, I'm waiting for you to help push them up to where I am. So it's pretty good. And then once you get closer to me, I'm gonna throw down a rope for you to come up the ladder and we can pull them up together. You get me?
The Mandelian, you don't talk about the Mandelian. You still on that?
Mandelian, who's that?
Now, what you talking about? That what you talking about?
Remember, I used to teach the supreme wisdom of the Quran. This is Isa, the great black intellectual Muslim.
Yeah. Islam. You practice Islam.
On the live. Don't say that on the live. These lot gonna be saying that foolishness forever. I won't kick you. Oh my!
You're still doing it. That's all I know. Are you still doing it, or you kind of moved away from that?
No, that's 100, brother. It's much more deeper. Just remember this, yeah. You see them little missing bits you got in your evolution theory, right? I'll be filling in the blanks. I could explain it philosophically, scientifically. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you giving them the little introduction. You're giving them the introduction, and I'm gonna appreciate it.
All right. I ain't an expert on the subject, though. I ain't gonna sit down. I ain't got my doctorate degree in evolution, yo. I'm a novice, yo. I just study hard, man.
So you still atheist?
Huh?
You still an atheist, right?
Yeah, a real black atheist all day.
Real black, yeah. I missed the show, man. I wanted to hear if you still got the same definition or a similar definition, so I'm gonna have to rewatch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, baseball. I went in. I gave him documented proof of how atheism started. I hit him. I got him real good.
In this show here?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So I'm gonna enjoy watching that later on. Then this is good.
All right. I appreciate you, Islam.
You joker. Peace, love, brother. Love.
Peace, man. Appreciate y'all, man. That's funny right there. Boy, I tell you, we came a long way around here, and we're still standing tall, standing strong. I'm a raw squad up.
Hey, rich kid, what you saying? Are you coming in?
Yeah, I'm here. I wanted to ask Uncle a quick question before he goes off, man.
What the hell's going on, brother? What's up?
What's going on, Uncle? Good?
I'm good, man. Holding in there.
You know that theory, I don't know if you explained it tonight because I wasn't listening to all of the show, but you know that theory that Dr. what's his name? Dr. Kaba, where he said that black people went into Europe and they turned white over time. Could you enlighten me or elucidate on that point?
It should. It ain't that black people went into Asia. I think the brother from yesterday did a great job on the skin color. It's a good read right here is in Science Magazine, Genes and an Environment. And so it actually talks about that. And so in different environment, old genes will do new tricks. What's the new trick? To generate pale skin. You know what I'm saying? I can't even say it. Brother Nahisi and the other brother from yesterday said better, SL245C, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is a variation. You know what I'm saying? You got different variations of a gene that produces pale skin. This is based off of not having a lot of sun UVA rays. So as you move closer to the equator, you know what I'm saying, you have the harmful ray, because the sun is harmful, it's radiation, it will kill you, right? It will kill you. So the closer you are to the equator, the more melanin production you need, which is on the skin, which is the melanocytes. The melanocytes on the skin produces melanin. Read that. This melanin protects the folic acid. Folic is a vitamin that women need, you know what I'm saying? Like they take these vitamins with prenatal care. This folic acid, you know what I'm saying, actually, if not protected, you know what I'm saying, because UVA rays detect the folic acid, you'll have high rates of what? Of Euro 2 disorders. I mean, you know, spina bifida. You know what I'm saying? And so what they found out is that the melanin actually protects the folic acid. So when you're on the equator, you need more of this protection, but the farther away from the equator, you know what I'm saying, the less melanin you need. So you got euromelanin, you got theomelanin. Okay? So this, in the non-tropical regions where sunlight is not as much, people with dark skin will develop rickets, vitamin D disorders. Not less like the Inuit people, the Eskimo people. People say, well, how come these people have not turned pale? Well, because like the brother yesterday introduced to the world, you know what I'm saying? He talked about the Inuit people, Eskimos, and he talked about they diet of fish and how they had a high concentration of fish, which has vitamin D, kept their skin, you know, brown in color. Whereas those people up in the northern latitudes didn't have a lot of fish, their diets didn't produce a lot of vitamin D, and so the skin had to pale out. So to allow in more sunlight. On the equator, you want less sunlight in because it attacks folic acid. On the equator, northern latitudes, you need more sunlight, so the skin has to be paler to give it a vitamin D. So these people that was in the northern regions, right, needed more sunlight, so the skin has to lighten out. So watch this. This is how evolution works. You'll have evolution occurs in the population, not in one person. So it never was one person switching from black to white. It was the overall general population. So these browner skinned Africans, as they moved away from the equator, the population over time grew lighter. Why did the population over time go lighter? Because people that were browner and darker on the northern latitude gave birth to lesser people. Let me say though, gave birth to not as many babies as those that were lighter. I'm gonna say that, let me slow it down. Browner people in the northern latitude gave birth to brown babies, but some of the babies came out lighter. Those lighter babies had a higher birth rate than the darker babies did. So over time, the population, nature selected, by natural selected the gene that produced lighter skin, because these people with lighter skin had more babies over time in the northern latitude. This is what occurred. It does not occur in one person, it occurs in the overall population. Let me give you a good example. Let's use the moth, because if you really want to study humans, you got to study the other animals or the other insects. So let's look at the spotted moth that is in Europe. When you come to Europe, right, they had a time of the fog, like London fog in London. Y'all from London, right?
Hell yeah.
All right, so in London back in the day, you look at the movie, you're like, what the hell is all this smog? Right, it was based off of the pollution of burning a lot of fossil fuels, which actually caused the smog. Not until the Pollution Act, where they stopped burning all the damn trees and fossil fuel, did the fog clear up. But watch this. So we talk about the spotted moth. You got a dark brown spotted moth and you got a white spotted moth. So before the smog came in, you got these trees, these light colored trees. You got these white spotted moths living on the white trees, and you got these dark spotted moths living on these white trees. Now, being as though these white spotted moths blend into the trees, these dark spotted moths get ate by the predators that eat moths more frequently than they do the white moths, because the white moths blend into the trees. So over time, the population is more white moths than dark moths, because the dark moths can be spotted by the predators more. When the smog moves in, the trees get darker. So now that the trees are darker, these same spotted moths, heavy population of white spotted moths, low population of dark spotted moths, now the dark spotted moths are blending into the trees, and now the predators can only see the white spotted moths, because the white spotted moths are showing up on the darker trees that was affected by the environment, that was affected by the fog. So over time, these darker moth populations grew higher in number over time, and now you have lesser white moths, right? Because they're standing out like a sore thumb, getting eaten. Now, when the Pollution Act was passed, and now the fog clears out, now the trees go back from being dark, being affected by the pollution. Now they whiten up again, and now the heavy population of dark moths are now getting eaten more frequently than the white moths, and now the population of light spotted moths grow again over time, as opposed to the dark spotted moth. This is the same thing that happened in northern latitude. Those with paler skin that did not die from rickets, you know what I'm saying, and different diseases that are caused by not having enough vitamin D, their populations grew over time, as opposed to the darker populations that gave birth to fewer babies. Remember, in biological human evolution, the only reason a mutation occurs because it gives the living organism an advantage to survive to the age of reproduction, i.e. crying. Those who cried more, you know what I mean, people must have felt more sorry for them, gave them the ability to give birth to more children over time. So that's why humans cry. So remember, whenever a biological mutation occurs, it is based off of the fact that it may give you an advantage for surviving. It may not, but it may. So a mutation is neither negative or positive. People say it all the time, well, I forget the damn word for it. When you try to think that black skin is dominant and recessive. Having 6 fingers is a dominant trait. Don't nobody want 6 fingers. Meaning that particular embryo, that signal that was sent out from the sonic hedgehog gene, you know what I'm saying, was too powerful, and it caused the embryo, you know what I'm saying, to develop 6 fingers. Look up sonic hedgehog gene, sends out a signal. Okay, so dominant and recessive, you know what I'm saying? So the spotted dark moth had dominant traits, and the recessive, the light moth had recessive trait, which is pale skin, but recessive and dominant is based off of your environment. So that which a dominant trait may kill you in an area when you need the recessive trait. That which is recessive may kill you in an area if you need a dominant trait. One last example. You got these mice that lived on the volcano ash. This volcano ash is dark. So you got these mice, these rock mice, they call rock mice, right? You got darker rock mice, and you got lighter rock mice. And so these mice are being hunted by these birds, but you can't see the dark mice, you know what I'm saying, that's on the lava flow, which is dark. These brown mice get eaten. But when the sand comes in and blows over the black lava flow, now all of a sudden the population of brown mice grow. Why do the population of the brown mice, of rock mice, grow? Because the darker mice are now standing out on the brown sand that is covered over the dark lava flow. Bro, that is your explanation right there. There you have it. I hope you got it.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that.
You probably gotta rewind that shit though. I ain't gonna lie to you. And slow that shit down.
Peace, brother Unc. What's popping? What's popping?
Go, Phil. Jack is brought up.
Yeah, man. I got a quick question for you. Where do you see the evolution of science in the community for the next 5 to 10 years, as far as educating ourselves?
Well, I think we sit at the forefront of it. Now we need to get into hip hop, and need to do some hip hop shows and bring certain artists in. And we had these conversations. I see it. I mean, based off of the work that all of us do, you include yourself, MBK, Masi, Shashu, Money, Metanet. I almost forgot about them. You know what I'm saying? Raw Squad, everybody. And based off of the work that we're doing, we're actually changing the lives of younger people. The younger generation is starting to understand that. And you know what I'm saying? And it's breaking people out of their pseudoisms. It's breaking down a lot of beliefs. So I think the community, as long as it's in the hands of people like the Dagger Squad and yourself, Raw Squad, Real Black Atheism, I think we're in a good, healthy place right now. I really do. Thank goodness, for having an Raw Squad. Thank goodness for me being pseudo and recognizing that, Ali, True Islam, Wesley Muhammad, I said he beat the shit out the conscious community. And I was like, no, I can't have this happen on my damn watch. So, it's historical. I put together the Raw Squad, put together, teams, teams win. You know what I'm saying? Individuals lose. So I understand that, man. So I think we're moving forward. I mean, sir, like you can't, I mean, you can't defeat us. Come on, man. Like, I don't care if you're an elder, 80, blind, crippled, crazy, you're not going to defeat nature. It don't matter. So really, scientific literacy is starting to expose some of the people who used to really covet it. It's exposing them. And it's not their fault. They just can't graduate. They should just probably stay in their damn lane and leave me the hell alone. Stay in your goddamn lane if you ain't dealing with scientific literacy. If you're dealing with the mythology, that's cool. I respect the lane of mythology, storytelling. That's cool. But get the hell out of my damn lane, because this is what I'm doing. Get in my lane, I got to run you over. And it ain't no disrespect. It's that I can't allow the younger generation to see an elder beat me up on something that I know is right. Like, I can't give them that much respect. Sometimes you can give people too much respect, bro. And I think we gave the elder too much respect. Like, we in North America, man. And around here, when I was raised, you know what I'm saying, the elders had to prove their damn worth. In the hood, in the street. Just because you was an OG, I get you an OG, but now you fucking with the young. That's my corner too. So I respect you right up until you start messing with my money. I respect you right up until you start messing up the thing. I know you don't want to deal with the crack. You want to deal with the powder. That's cool. Stay over there on that corner. As soon as you try to tell me not to do this, now we got a problem, OG. Now we got the problem. So as soon as they try to tell us that we can't teach scientific literacy, that we can't tell us what we proved in the show, that the damn foundation of the damn community was based off of those who didn't believe in God, you can't tell me not to do that. And like they say, oh, head, you can't. Because now you're in our lane. Let us teach. We don't mind you teaching, but you can't open your mouth about us. Now, if we out of order and wrong, then absolutely, the elders got every right to stand up and say something. But I found it very, very interesting that the first time the elders decided to open their damn mouth, was against the Raw Squad and the family in Real Black Atheism. I found that shit very funny. You had a lot of people like Pseudo, Young Pharaoh, the Young Pseudo, General Sarah, Stupid Seti. You had all these people. Everybody say none of them. You know what I'm saying? They taking us back to the damn Stone Age. But those who try to check out the Diop's work and stand on their shoulders and Dr. Ben's work and teach what they was teaching and add to it, Black Man and all his family evolution, they talk shit about us based off of their limited understanding of science and scientific literacy. But so, I think we're in a good place. The fact that we're having this conversation to the UK, we're in a great fucking place. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Family, I've got a few super chats, so you already know that I'm bound by code to read out some of these super chats right now. Tony Mason, okay, this is my brother, from Ends, showing that love and that support. I'm pretty sure he was on the panel, or still is on the panel, saying Times TV, peace. We've also got AR23 dropping that Argentina dineros, baby. So yeah, shouts out to him. Big 200, not no small change, 200.
ARS, I'm Ross, man. Throw that this way.
And then when you got up in here, let's see. All right, we've got Freestyle Fletcher says, Black Atheist, you from Baltimore? You from B-More?
From B-More, Baltimore, all day long. Park Heights. Wrightstown and Rogers, is called Hilltop. from the hilltop. Legendary.
I know AR. I know what that Argentino De Niro's looks mighty powerful. It's kind of like a how can I put it? It's kind of like Nigerian Nairas. You get me? They look mighty powerful.
Nigerian Naira.
Every time you go to a party, you start dashing those Nairas. It looks powerful, but when they try to change it up, hey, it's a different story.
What is a dollar? They end up being a dollar. 50 cent. Y'all crazy now.
Hey. So you know what, family? We're gonna have a great after show. Okay. Oh, Sugar Ali. Nah, you know what? Sorry, I apologize. They're flooding in with the super chat, so I'm gonna have to quickly read them out. Love and support. Shout out to Ali Al Hassoun. He says, peace and love, keep dropping that knowledge. Big up, my man, Isa. Yeah, shout out to Ali Al Hassoun. Yeah, salute to you. We caught you on the COE live stream on Sunday when we was down at Speaker's Corner. Salute to you, always support, always showing the love. We appreciate you, my brother. Aight. And I'm sure, the good brother Isa appreciates you as well. Freestyle Fletcher says, DMV, stand up. Oh, man. All right, so the family is in the building. Just for that, I bring back the conscience of my spiritual father of all Black people, spirituality. I see my consciousness connects to him. All right, let me do this right. Just because of all those super chats, I'm gonna give 5 more minutes, right? So right now it's 9:49. So when it reaches 9:55. UK time, we will close down the show.
Yeah.
So hold on, let me get Shahid in first, Afro man.
Yeah, no problem. I was just saying to put the book out.
Actually,
the book out. That book, Conflict of Mind, I think it was. That's what you was looking for last time.
Yeah, there you go, boy. There you go. That's it. There you go. For the UK. Damn, boy. You see the value, you see that. See the value, man, of the brothers and sisters helping each other, man. I don't know every goddamn thing, man. That's why I'm like, let me get some younger people to help me the fuck out, because I will forget at times. See how that brother came through, found that, conflict of the minds. There you go, man. Man, there you go, bro. Damn, boy, I need to stop.
There you go.
There you go.
Let me shout Garfield, man. Dagger Squad is doing their thing, Dagger Squad.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. Doing my thing.
More than try.
Me and Unc
You're showing improving, my G. You're showing improving.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Me and Unc really need to come to the corner, though. We need to come.
Yeah.
We definitely need to come over there and beat up some folks, man.
Mm-hmm.
My son, he's sick today, so he's making all the noise.
Yes, that would be crazy.
We need to set that up though in the summer though. In the summer, we got to set it up in the summer.
Yeah, Garfield, stay online if you can. I've just got 1 or 2 questions for you, brother, if you don't mind.
Peace and love. What's your name, beloved?
Let me get Brother Shahid.
All right. First of all, I want to say peace, love to all the family out there. Peace to my brothers. Peace to my sisters. Uncle Ankhakek, I want to introduce myself because we've never spoken before, if that's fine.
It's all good, brother.
So first of all, I want to say, I've watched you for quite a while. I've watched you for like about 2-3 years. I basically this might be like a secret I shouldn't tell, but basically I got to know you through Brother Kalam's channel, and what you're saying is a lot of interesting things. I would say and you do. And to be when you say the only thing I would disagree with you, Uncle, is the fact that you said that no one can defeat you. I take that not personally, but I think I have something that can get a little bit hard on you still. So
no, okay. I never said nobody can defeat me. I ain't say that.
all right.
I said nobody can defeat science. Only science can defeat science. That's what I meant.
I misheard and Uncle Sus.
Yeah, you can get a person with a doctorate degree to beat me up on that shit. That shit real hard and complicated. And then I never get beat. You know why I never get beat up though?
Right.
I won't never get beat up because I realize, man, this person knows a little bit more than me, and what he's saying is making sense. Let me look it up, and I'll say, you know what? Well, I was wrong with that point right there. Me and the brother just had an excellent conversation, and we worked it out. So that's what I mean when I say that only science defeats science, right? And I will never lose. What I want to tell you is, what I mean is, if you have something that's supported and scientific, right, that makes more sense than what I have, or is updated information, then I have a right to the younger brothers and sisters listening to say, you know what? Well, I was wrong on that point right there. I was just wrong. I'll give you a great example. When I went on brother Sanchez show, they were talking about the flat. I had Sanchez talking about the flat earth, had the Aborigines talking about some crazy people in North America, messing up the whole way through. But one of the brothers was like, yeah, well, and I said molecule testing. He said it's not called molecule testing, it's called molecular testing. Molecular testing. I was like, no, it's molecules. I argued them down, but the truth was I was wrong. It was really molecular testing. See, I can't even say that shit, but that's the point. So yes, I can be wrong, right? And I have a right standing in front of the community to say, well, you know, I used the wrong word. I was wrong, or that information I used is outdated. I have to say it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my commitment to the community. So when that's what I mean. But I really actually, I said science is undefeated, bro. But I appreciate you.
All right, we've only got 2 more minutes or so here before the show automatically shuts down. All right, because I've logged off the laptop. So family, if you've got any dying last questions, okay, to ask the brother Ankh, please speak fast and do it now, or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, forever hold that peace, man. Get it out.
Hey, yeah.
Can you take me early like last time so we can shoot, bro?
Jeez. All right. It seems that nobody don't have that much. That's cool. That's cool.
Bro, Uncle
What's good?
Yes, brother. The brother Dagger Squad said he will be coming or hope to come to the UK. Is that your vision too? To Speaker's Corner?
Yeah, yep, that's my vision.
Yeah? How many would be coming? Who's coming?
I don't know, probably me and Garfield or somebody. Shit, it'll cost too much money to get the whole team over there. That should be a obliviation. Okay,
that's good.
That should be crazy.
Put it on the Nat Turner credit card, bro. Put it on the Nat Turner credit card. You good?
We'll go over there and change the whole fucking, because they ain't.
Yo, Esau, what up, Esau? Long time, bro.
Big up, my brother. Big up.
Yo. Esau, long time. Yo, he beat up Bashir too. Remember when him and Bashir had that little debate?
Where is that? I took it down. Somebody hid that. You get me? Always put it.
No, what happened is on the channel got shut down, so all them stuff is gone, bro.
Yeah, he shut it down. The studio shut me down.
You lot forgot. Ankhakek put a paid something. Remember, he put a price. You can't watch it unless you pay or something.
Yeah. That was a good.
You was wicked in that. He didn't want no one to see me mashing up Bashir, so you had to pay it all.
I was wicked. Technology. That shit was funny. I made about